a party on the radio. Happer and Schaefer. Happer and Schaefer. Happer and wah, Schaefer. It's Connor and Mike. Yeah. Happer and Schaefer. Happer and Schaefer. Happer and wah, Schaefer. It's Connor and Mike.
All right, good morning and welcome in. Happy Friday. It's Happer and Schaefer here on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer, Joey Warcola with you here on this Friday. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up?
It's Friday.
It's that sounded like hooray.
It's
Friday.
I think he was earnest
Hooray.
on it. I don't know that it was a sarcastic. It's Friday. I think
It's Friday.
Joey's ready. He's got his old-fashioned shirt on.
Yes, I
so
do.
Wow.
He's going to be making them during the U.S. game today at 2.
Is
and
this
no one's
true?
going to hear from Joey
It'll
after
be-
about the 60th minute of that.
It'll
match.
be afterwards. I'll be locked into the game. I'll
Yeah.
be locked into Telemundo.
Again, no one will hear from Joey after about the 60th minute of that game.
What's
There'll be 3 old-fashions in.
yeah,
The
approximately
U.S. will be up 2-1.
approximately what time will you be stirring up your first old fashioned?
It'll probably be 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
because
You're
I-
not going to do it for the game?
No, I'm not going to do it during the game. I want to remember the game, and I want to be there for when I hear a lot of.
So if the Celtics are playing in the evening, do you not make your old fashions?
Okay. What's going on?
Joey's in soccer mode.
I'm in
See, you
soccer
haven't
mode.
experienced this really.
Never. I have never experienced this
Turn-
from anyone.
Turn on Telemundo, Nebraska for soccer, and you will be thanking me.
Telemundo?
Yes.
Why?
It's the best soccer coverage. It's better than the English speaking coverage.
Joey, do you speak Spanish?
No, I don't. But I can
He's
tell when
learning.
things get intense.
You,
can't believe it.
he's turned, Telemundo into his personal Rosetta Stone.
I didn't.
over here.
I didn't
is.
know about this.
It is.
No, like again. I don't know that you're prepared for what has happened since you've been gone.
Not
this
at
is-
all.
This is
No, you
very
weren't.
normal for
Yeah,
Joey.
Joey came in pretty chipper this morning, and I was like, "Oh, okay, nice. I needed that."
No,
It turns out the United States is playing soccer today.
they are.
I had no idea. I mean,
I
even
mean,
though
you did have an idea.
well, we talked about it yesterday, but I forgot it immediately, and
You're still catching up. You're still catching up. I totally get it.
I have not watched 1 second of any World Cup anything that
Will
was
you
going
put
on.
1 second of the U.S. on today?
I mean, sure. I'm not actively trying to avoid it. I don't
you're
want to
not
be.
Michael Severe.
No, I don't want to be that kind of guy. I'm not that guy. But I just haven't got around
Yeah,
to any of it.
Fair to say, massive match today, right, Joey?
Yep,
Australia
yeah.
1-0, the United States 1-0.
Yeah, pretty
Chance
much
to
the-
basically win your group today.
Basically.
Okay. All right. Cool. Do you think they'll do it?
Oh yeah, they can get it done.
They're definitely better than Australia, whether they actually play.
I was just surprised they beat up on Turkey in their
Yeah.
opening match.
There's been a lot of those first match results in some of those groups were
Why isn't the U.S. playing in prime time?
that I don't know.
Yeah.
It angers me. As
I'm
someone
not
who will
sure.
watch.
I'm not sure what time it would be or over in Australia when they would play at 2.
Who cares?
Yeah, that's not our
'Cause
job.
I'm thinking
when they
They're
played
on
in
our
South
turf.
Korea,
That's
like
right.
you're
We're
right
in the
in
middle
the
of the
middle
night.
I know. But who-
So I don't have any problem with the
Yeah.
Aussies having to wake up.
I was actually thinking this morning, like if there was, about the World Cup because they were playing the highlights or whatever. And I kind of like the idea of games or matches happening at all hours of the day, and that's not the case this year
Yeah.
because it's on our turf.
So usually for the final matches of the group stages, for each group they would play at the same time, so teams would not know the results of
Right.
the other game. It's going on at the same time. So you'll see a lot more games happening, like starting I believe next Wednesday when they do the final round of matches in that group stage.
They've basically been playing for a 12-hour block though, from
Yeah.
11 to 11.
Well, I
So-
just mean like overnight.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I got you.
Like 5 o'clock in the
when
morning.
they're playing in South Korea,
Yeah.
way back when, like this is 2002, I think. I woke up to watch a match that started at 5 a.m. against Germany in the knockout rounds.
Wow.
So they did not win.
And so we don't play again now until next Thursday against Turkey.
And that would be at, I think, 9 o'clock.
9. Yep, that's right.
And that would be at the same time as the Australia
in Paraguay.
Paraguay, yeah. I got a tweet yesterday from a listener of the show, Matt, who was in LA for the World Cup. I don't know what games were going on in LA yesterday, but did you see
Switzerland was playing yesterday?
There you go.
There.
Oh, well, I think, yeah, he either lives there or has some sort of citizenship there or something like that. And so there you go. He sent us a picture yesterday of the beautiful SoFi Stadium with the beautiful pitch. It looks lovely.
And the U.S. will be back over there for Turkey for that last match of group stage.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know what my expectations were, but all of the places have looked very good for their, for their matches.
We did.
Kansas City looked great for when Argentina was down there for Messi's hat trick.
Are they
even though a caller said yesterday it was not great just trying to get in and get out.
Sure, the logistics of it and then the experience of it, maybe not the best, but
it was an awesome
stadiums and everything.
Yeah. I think most of that is
the players have been really happy with the experience so far. There hasn't been the usual complaints that you get with international stuff. So
not that I've seen.
No, I've not seen any of that.
Not that I've seen. So maybe today I'll watch a soccer game.
There was a lot of scoring yesterday, so we just saw the highlights of Switzerland Qatar. There was no scoring until like the 74th minute of the game, and Switzerland ended up winning 4-1, and then Canada dominated Qatar 6-0.
Well,
6-0.
So Qatar did the thing that when you're, a petulant child in playing video games in soccer, and you go down and you're mad, and then you just start slide tackling everyone. You get players ejected. They were down to 9 men yesterday.
Yeah,
which,
it was bad.
Makes it kind of hard to play.
South Korea, Mexico was a great night.
Yeah, I missed most of them.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, South Korea. It could have ended in a scoreless draw. The goal Mexico got early in the second half, South Korea's goalie was able to get the ball, but he kind of fell forward and lost the ball and left an open gap in the goal. And there was a few great saves from Mexico's goalie as well.
He was 40-some years old.
Yeah,
right. Ochoa.
No. He it wasn't him. He's the backup.
He's just a backup.
Yeah,
now?
he's the backup now.
Okay.
That guy had been in so many World Cups.
Yeah, you see him everywhere.
Is this like baseball where there's a lot of scoring in a day, and it's because of the conditions, the wind's blowing out to right or something like that?
No.
That's dependent on a
lot of it's based on whether
play.
PKs are rewarded or, I don't really think the conditions now, soccer people can call it and completely disagree with this, but I'm not completely talking out of my, whatever here,
but
soccer can do the game largely is the same.
I know it's mostly a joke. All right, off and running.
I wasn't sure there, but honestly, I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
I just haven't watched.
Well, I know know what it is, but I know what cricket is. It doesn't mean I know how anything works.
Fair. All right, off and running here on this Friday. We have a busy show for you all today. Mike Sauter will join the show coming up at 7:30. There's a big 7-on-7 tournament. Speaking of things I haven't seen, a 7-on-7 tournament. Although I did see Trey Taylor running around yesterday. Was he running? And then he threw it up into the sky, only to be plucked out by his own teammate in the end zone for a touchdown.
There's no way you knew this because you can file it under the things that you missed, of which I have another edition that I'll add here too.
Good.
On Saturday, I happened to be home after doing the College World Series show. And I throw the TV on, and there's like a 7-on-7 event happening in the quad box on YouTube.
Whoa.
And I'm like, that looks like, and I click into it, and it's Trey Taylor, who's playing for a team playing out in Los Angeles for the 7-on-7 finals.
How many Trey Taylors are there? Are there like 4 of them? His team has just given
up a touchdown, and he's got 46 seconds to go the length of the field to try to go win this game. And they end up losing. The time runs out.
Bummer.
And he spikes his helmet that he wasn't really wearing. I was asking Tim Verghese about this. He was wearing his helmet so it was strapped across his nose, not his chin.
Okay.
And apparently this is because most of the tournaments you don't have to wear helmets, but this one you do.
Okay.
Players didn't want to, whatever. It was wild. Just that guy's everywhere. He's
I know.
all over the place.
That's what I'm saying.
And so he's doing a 7-on-7 now. He'll do a 7-on-7 in Memorial Stadium on Saturday.
That's right.
And it's nuts. It's absolutely.
I can't believe that he's only one person. But we'll talk to Mike Sauter about that coming up at 7:30 today. And our dear friend John Bishop will join the show today, coming up at 8:20. Today is car wash day at the Men's College World Series for the finals. And so John will be the sideline reporter for the finals. And we will talk to him coming up at 8:20 about what he's seen so far and what he might see tomorrow. Jake Sorensen, our dear friend, will join us in the 9 o'clock hour as well. And he will not back out on us because I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. Well, you're not going to be here for a couple Fridays in the summer. He claims he's good the rest of the summer.
Okay.
That part of the text.
We'll
Thank
see.
goodness.
We'll
So,
see.
well, yeah, that's definitely under we'll see mode. So I have to ask. I assume you saw last night the news for the Kansas City Royals.
Bobby Witt Jr. left the game.
Yeah. Any extra news on like what happened?
There didn't seem to be much.
Look great.
There didn't seem to be much concern.
Oh, okay.
Not that I know of.
He just awkwardly went down fielding a ball.
He stayed in the game and then he left the game.
Yeah.
It felt like one of those precautionary deals.
So this is one of the things I'm not sure if you saw. Jose Ramirez is out for the next month.
Ugh.
So we're just dropping baseball players left and right.
Well, not that it mattered for the Royals anyway, but I did want to be.
You don't want to lose the one thing that
Right.
actually.
I did want to, and I also wanted to be right on him winning the MVP,
Sure.
which I don't think he probably will anyway. But although it was cool that Salvador Perez broke the record for most home runs at the K
Nice
last night,
Look at
and is
Who did he
only
beat for that? Who held it before?
Mr. Brett, and
Okay.
I would imagine I think he's only 5 or so away from the all-time franchise lead.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there you go, Salvi, and then he could maybe ride off into the sunset after this year or something like that. I'm not trying to kick him out or anything.
It just hasn't been going great.
Yeah, it's a little slow going. That's all. It's June, like you pretty much better be off the ground by now. So that's those are our guests today. Also, we have our Friday shout outs, which are coming up at 8:45 this morning. And we have our city of the day. We will travel to another town that I have been to, Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Another town on the East Coast.
Chapel Thrill,
We love the East Coast.
trying to get themselves
to
a
the East.
Charles Schwackoff or something like that. Chapel Hill, I went to a place called Pita Pit.
Okay.
Apparently, it's a chain.
I was going to say those exist in other places.
They
but I
definitely
swear
do.
I've seen them.
I went to a place called Pita Pit in Chapel Hill, and I was excited about it.
Did
It
you
was
steal
pretty
any
good.
sauce there?
No, I was more of a child. This was before my sauce stealing days, and I liked the Pita Pit. It was good.
Doesn't conventional wisdom seem to reason your sauce stealing days should have been when you were younger?
I'm not sure. I
Should
wasn't.
be.
I must have been less interested in sauce back
Okay.
then.
That could be. But very interested in pitas.
Interested in pitas and interested in the University of North Carolina, who's playing in the College World Series Final, and we'll have our city of the day coming up in just a little while. Elsewhere today on the show, another proposal in the MLB versus players saga that will certainly lead to some substantive change. Substantive change.
Yeah, that was aggressive, at least what I saw.
I saw Bill Connolly's Big Ten preview. This apparently happened like 2 days ago, but I usually I'll see that thing right away. There was some stuff in there that sort of made me think a little bit. So I have a question for you. Call it in the air, the College World Series Finals, and in how many games? Matt Rhule has quotes about things from over the summer, and the Red Sea is rising. Now, what will be the big announcement? I don't know. Do you know, Schaefer?
No, I'm just bracing myself for it to be underwhelming.
Yes, that was the main question. Do you think it'll be stupid, or do you think it'll be cool, or do you think it will annoy people? I'm very interested to see.
I think it could have been an email or a tweet. Probably, but who knows? Look, I'm happy to be wrong if it works out that way.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't be particularly exciting, but I'm excited to see what it is. And then, the danger of when you hype something up like this and you tease it 17 times on social media and it leads to this announcement, people are expecting to be a little bit blown away here. And maybe they will be blown away. But I think it's more likely than not that they won't. All right, we're off and running here on a Friday. We'll be
Trying
back.
to think of what could be announced that you'd have been blown away by.
I don't know if they were going to wreck the
Unveil
stadium and
that-
build a new one.
Yeah, but not where Memorial Stadium's at. They're building a whole new stadium
Yeah,
in Ashland.
or they're going to do a bullet train to Omaha or something.
Now that would be an announcement.
I would have been very excited about that announcement. Now, if it's just something like
Not sure why the bullet train would be called Red Sea Rising, but I'd be on board.
we're gonna do a red out on October 4th or something. That's like,
we had
oh
so
my
much
God.
success with the blackout. We are going to tell people to wear red in our stadium.
Hey, I will say the blackout was cool. I really liked
Yeah,
the
it was
blackout.
great.
The blackout was awesome. They
It
should do the
adds to
blackout
yet
again.
another edition of Nebraska doesn't win in black jerseys, so stop wearing it.
Nebraska doesn't win in anything. Maybe they
where?
should just change their jerseys.
That's not true. They won 7 times.
Wear
in
yellow
that
jerseys.
were white or red.
Okay. That's interesting.
I'm just saying they're like 0-5 in black jerseys.
Anytime they have
The
done
science is
anything
behind
different
it.
for with the jerseys, they have lost those games, it seems. But,
Unless they do the throwbacks, those are their only.
and they play
successful
like
ones.
Buffalo or something.
They should only do the jerseys for Buffalo.
They probably
The
should.
MAC team of the year gets the jersey.
402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. You can call or text that number. Tweet at us at Happen Schaefer, at Connor Happer on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor, Mike, Joey at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. We say good morning to our YouTube streamers today. Hello, YouTube streamers. Off and running on a Friday. We're back after this on 1620 The Zone. All right, welcome back. Friday morning here on Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer, and Joey Warcola with you. Don't forget, we are still at the Omaha Baseball Village this weekend, live before each of the 3 games. That is including tomorrow, including Sunday, and if necessary on Monday. Free stuff at the table while supplies last to Sunbelt Bakery, Ted and Wally's Early Bird Brunch. You get coupons for scoops of ice cream, free hash holes from Early Bird. Check us out, and please stop by. Keep us company. You never know what might happen when you drop by at the Omaha Baseball Village. Let's go to the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline and have a chat with old man Doug. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth. Yes.
The banks are closed today, so we won't be answering on the first ring.
Oh, wow. You won't be answering on any ring.
There you go. I don't know how long ago it was. It was a week or so ago, and you guys were talking about the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
We got everything wrong.
We botched that one pretty good, Doug.
Okay. Well, Connor, your movie or lack of movie knowledge sometimes is off the chart.
Hey, I've seen The Wizard of Oz like a lot. I just couldn't recall for whatever reason which one didn't have the thing that they wanted.
Okay. Well, you guys are young for memory loss. Too young for memory loss.
That's true. Now that's true. I don't know if I have memory loss, but I'm certainly not good at remembering things. So whatever that means to you, yes.
I think the new announcement for the Red Rising is Connor's going to have another sidekick.
Yeah, I doubt it. I don't know that would get the people real fired up either.
What's he going to be doing down in Lincoln on game days?
He's going to be going, go Big Red, and say, let's go Jays.
Go Big Red, let's go
know.
Jays. I don't think, once again, I don't know that people would like that very much.
No,
Seems like a very subset of people might be interested.
How are you guys? How's the series treating you?
It's been good. It's been fun. We're recovering. We're in recovery mode. We're kind of coming back from it now and getting ready to go for the championship series. Next week everything will basically be normal again. But it was a fun series. I certainly enjoyed my part of it anyway.
It's amazing that Oklahoma just keeps winning. It just doesn't seem like they've got the talent that a lot of the other teams do, but they're just winning right now. Do you think that they're going to turn into a pumpkin in these next 2 games? Because I think North Carolina has quite a bit more talent, particularly on the pitching side. I went to the first Oklahoma-Georgia game, and up on the board I see a guy that's like, I think he was 0-2 with a 5-some ERA starting the second game of the series for him, and the one Mercurius brother, and they're awfully hot right now. But I just don't see them even taking it to 3 games.
Yeah, Doug, we'll see. How have you enjoyed the series so far?
Well, Mrs. Old Man Doug and I went down to that game, and she actually made it through 6 innings.
Wow. Well, the weather probably helped out with that, right?
Oh, the weather was really good, yeah. But going with my oldest son Sunday, golfing in the morning, College World Series in the afternoon, steaks for dinner. It may not get much better than that.
A perfect Omaha day. Now we're I think we have shows this weekend. You have Saturday.
I'll be on Saturday with Matt, and you'll be on Sunday with Matt. And then my show starts at 4:00, going right up to the game time at 6:40 is when broadcast coverage starts with Westwood 1. I believe you start at 10.
I think it's 10 to 1.
12:40.
10 to 1:15, I think. The game's at 1:30.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. But yeah, we got a couple more days left down at the series. It'll be good. Stop by if you're coming early on Sunday.
So your Father's Day present
is to work.
Is that you guys don't have to change any diapers for the weekend.
Okay. Do you think we'll be able to accomplish that?
I like weirdly fallen in this spot where I really haven't had to do that a whole lot here because so it's not like it's going to stand out more on Sunday than it has the rest of the week. Now coming back post CWS stuff, it'll be back to a bunch of stinky diapers.
Get your diaper fill.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug. We'll see you down there.
All right. Hopefully you guys will be there. I stopped by the other day and no one was there.
Well, you just got to catch us at the right time.
I never recognized before. I knew it wasn't one of you.
Oh yeah,
you were there on Wednesday when it was Tyler and Brian.
Yeah.
Who's that huge guy?
That would be Brian.
Yeah, some of our friends
from Central Nebraska.
Who
joined in to help us out this week.
Joined us.
Hey, ask him if he banks at Equitable. He lives in Grand Island.
All right, we will. We'll get him up.
Check in on that.
We'll get him hooked up with you. Thanks, Doug. See you later. All right. We'll get our guys from Central Nebraska all hooked up with Doug. Doug should have called into the Village show and just said, hey, because I remember when Doug called into my first show here and he was like, just so you know, like I'm old man Doug. And I'm like, thank you. I needed to know this.
We'll file this away.
And then just periodically you'll kind of just check in. On the question about Oklahoma, they do not lack talent.
But that's the thing. Like they were underachieved in the regular season are playing either to the level of talent that they have or they're slightly overachieving. But those dudes are talented.
Yeah, no,
there's definitely talent there. There's no question about it.
Just because they're young doesn't mean they lack the talent.
It's an interesting series where you have North Carolina, where you have some older guys that have put together some college careers, but they also have young guys. I mean, Walker McDuffie was tremendous out of relief, and we've already talked about Caden
Glauber.
So those guys have been really valuable for them too. They just
I have no idea.
Mix it in a little bit.
The
more.
Glauber thing. I have. What is he going to look like when in 3 years when he's draft or 2 years when he's draft eligible? I have no idea.
Well, what does he look like next year? Do they move him to the rotation?
I would think so
because he's already covering 3+ innings for you at a time.
Yeah,
they're not afraid to go to him. Like this is a name that is maybe lost in College World Series lore, and it's a 20-year anniversary of Oregon State winning it. But it reminds me of Kevin Gunderson, who would come in for them, and they played North Carolina in the championship series. And it was like he would come in every big spot and get them out of it, like some way, somehow, induce a pop-up, get a strikeout, get the ground ball double play with the bases loaded. And now I think Caden is a lot more dominant than what Gunderson was. But those guys, they win you championships.
And he's only, he was supposed to be a senior.
17,
he was supposed
18?
to be a senior in high school this year, which is crazy. Okay, so that actually leads pretty decently into the story out of Major League Baseball yesterday. We'll touch on this real quick before we get to our city of the day. So over the last several weeks, it has become pretty obvious. Well, it's been obvious for months, I guess, that we're headed toward some sort of a work stoppage in Major League Baseball.
Basically, since the last time they agreed to play baseball again and set a date.
They're like, oh, by the way, we're
ready. Kick this can down the road. 2027, that's our new problem.
So as the two sides, the players and the owners, start to come back to the table a little bit and try and at least start somewhere, there have been ideas that have been tossed around by both the players union and the Major League Baseball owners. Here is one thing the owners proposed yesterday. Widespread changes to this involves college baseball, amateur entry system that would cut signing bonuses by more than $150 million annually, make high school players ineligible for the domestic draft, and institute a international draft. This is from Jeff Passan yesterday. The proposal made at a collective bargaining meeting with the Players Association called for the domestic draft to be shortened from 20 to 12 hard slotted rounds. So no over slot, under slot deal. And the amateur signing bonus pool to be nearly halved to $200 million, according to sources. So cutting money out of that. The international draft would be a part of this too, and it would undergo some sort of restructuring and take on a different light. But as far as what that means for, the only thing we can do with these is first of all say that they are just ideas, and it does feel like in some ways it's getting publicized to make one side look good and all that stuff. But when these ideas come up, we're sort of forced to look at them and kind of, softly implement them in our brains. And I got to be honest with you, as a college baseball fan, I'm fascinated by the idea of the draft getting cut down again, and for high school players not being eligible for it. I mean, that is really quite the dramatic change, and would mean that a lot of talent would be headed to college instead of the minor leagues right away. And it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, I mean, combine that with the possibility of 5 for 5, and you're talking about teams and with 8 less rounds, which we're already down from
50 to 20.
Yeah. And so, like what that would do for the level of talent.
We had a complete restructuring of the minor league several years ago, and there's just less spots there too. So yes,
well, and this seems like this is also a restructuring of the minor leagues where you're going to be cutting out teams again, because you effectively, your development factories are no longer your low A's or your rookie ball. It becomes college.
Yeah.
Because you'd be taking these players where they've already gotten some of this. So if you're the owners, you're shifting some of those costs of your minor league organizations away to basically have colleges do that for you.
It would be, there would be a lot. All the guys who would have been drafted and signed out of high school would play in college for 2 years and then immediately go. Which there's already a good group of folks that go after 3. And then there's already a good group of players that go after high school in general. I don't know what the difference in totals would be if you add the 3-year draft guys plus the high school draft guys and then separate that to the 2-year draft guys in this future thing. I don't know what that looks like. I would find it really difficult to there wouldn't be a lot of highly drafted seniors. There's a few still in this current iteration of what we have. But there's not a lot of time for like late blooming and stuff like that. You just don't see it a whole bunch. There's a couple guys in this series, by the way. So it's crazy. And it would be, quite the shift for college baseball, which would get a huge influx of talent.
Yeah.
But there would be another set of, issues that I think comes along with that as well.
Sure. Well, think about it this way. In this series right now, if these rules were already in place, you'd be talking about Eli Willits playing alongside Jackson Willits.
Yep.
For an Oklahoma team that, would be having a chance to play for a national championship. Instead, he's tearing it up as a young kid in the Nationals organization.
I do like this idea of like highly drafted play. A lot of times I don't know how a top 10 would work on a year by year basis on average, like rolling over 10 years. I would imagine there's 3 or 4 high school guys, a few college pitchers, and an international guy, or something, whatever it might be. But I do love the idea of these high top picks. And a lot of them do tend to be like high school shortstops or whatever it is. I do like the idea that those guys get attached to colleges instead of just like, oh, Bobby Witt Jr. was committed to Oklahoma, But on Bobby Witt Jr.'s page, it doesn't say he went to Oklahoma because he didn't go to Oklahoma. It'd be cool to see, that on more major league stars' resumes that they went to college. Like, I think that means a lot for college baseball. That's just another, kind of offshoot of this.
You said something there that made me wonder, and I think if you read Kylie McDaniel or Keep Law, they've kind of been hitting at this a lot. A lot of teams have restructured their process to value college players more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just did a quick look at a mock draft that Kylie McDaniel of ESPN just put out yesterday. Only 5 projected players in his top 20 picks. And then it goes up from that. Some of that is teams.
5. So 5 out of the top
5
20
high school
are high schools.
Yeah. And so, I missed a word there, I think. But so what that also means, though, are some guys end up falling because they're going to have to be over slot. And, there's a whole mechanism.
If you don't understand the baseball draft, I don't really have time to explain it to you.
Yeah,
but it's
if
different.
you don't understand the baseball draft, raise your hand and notice that most people are raising their hand.
Yes.
Know this. The White Sox are pretending like they're not going to take Rock Chalosky because they are trying to leverage negotiations by claiming they're going to take Grady Emerson, the high school kid, so that way they can try to get Chalosky for cheaper when they're absolutely going to take Rock Chalowski.
I would think so.
That's basically everything's posturing. Everything's about negotiation points.
Yep.
But we have seen a lot more emphasis on grabbing those young college guys because they advance faster. You don't have to invest as much time to figure out who they are as a player, which helps you as an organization because you can get them to the majors sooner.
Yep. That's the effect on the major league side, on the baseball side of things. The college baseball side is fascinating too, because there's this huge influx of young talent, but all of it then would leave after their sophomore year.
In theory, yeah.
I mean,
Which is still better than the guys who don't get there. But it is just kind of the whole concept is fascinating. It's so self-serving though, when you look at the numbers and what it would mean, how much money the owners are attempting to save on everything. There's more of a cap on what they would be paying these players than there is right now. The international draft has been a non-starter for the players organization for a long time because they don't want to pay the amount that they're paying for the international talent. Because when they do that right now, it's a free-for-all. So if the Marlins want to offer a guy $4.5 million who's 18 years old, they have the bonus money to do it. Then, the Yankees can't get them if they're only offering 2.8. That all goes away if you go to a draft.
So of course this comes off of the owner's idea, or the idea to build a salary cap into baseball. There is the collective bargaining agreement expires on December 1st, at which point we would go into some sort of a lockout or a strike, or however it's sort of formed up that way. The players, they balked at this idea yesterday, saying proposals are, quote, fall woefully short, and players would lose $1 billion over the course of the next 5 years, including $400 million from this year to 27, up compared to the current system. While the current international signing system opens each January, the first draft the league proposed would take place in late 27 or early 28. Their quote, or their statement from the PA said, "Today, MLB made another set of proposals that are flat out bad for baseball. Ones that would cripple the next generation of players and damage the future of our game." Tell us how you really feel.
I enjoy with the statements that it's just like, we're going to meet your bombastic proposal with an equally bombastic statement about how baseball would be in deep, dire trouble.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I wish I could throw it to Mars. I wish I could fire it off into a cannon, but I
wish
cannot.
that both sides would have a ceasefire, a public negotiation, so we don't have to go through it. But that is not what will happen.
That's not what we want either, because then they're just saying nothing to each other for several months.
Largely what they're actually doing.
That's where we're going to end up getting to. Anyway. All right. We'll take a quick time out. It is time for our city of the day. We head to Chapel Thrill after this on 1620 The Zone.
We learned this city. We learned this city on Happen. Schaefer learned this city. We learned this city on Happen. Schaefer.
All right, we head to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. We figured we had done Norman. We had done Oklahoma City, so we don't need to go back to a suburb of Oklahoma City. So our apologies to the OU fans who are like, hey, come on, give us equal time here. We're going to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I believe it's our first city that we've gone to in the state of North Carolina. Yes.
I believe so. Let me double check.
We didn't do Raleigh. I petitioned for Raleigh one day.
Yeah.
But I don't think we did it.
So we've gone to North Carolina a lot for headlines. We had the woman that just walked out on her family.
Oh yeah.
We had the guy who broke into the pizza place and made pizzas. And all of this
great
is led to
memory of
you
this.
talking about your experiences in North Carolina, but we've never gone there for city of the day.
All right, to Chapel Thrill we go. It is in the Research Triangle, as they call it, in the Raleigh Durham area.
Is that the same thing as Tobacco Road?
Yeah.
They talk about Tobacco Road or the Tobacco Triangle. I assume that's the same thing.
So, like, there's a lot of tobacco like fields there, and it's noticeable. But I never heard in my lots of time there, I never heard anybody talk about Tobacco
I've basically
Road.
been in Charlotte and then driving. Like, I've never really spent time in non-Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah. It's not that part. Obviously, that's a little bit different. But
yeah.
So we go to Chapel Hill, where North Carolina, I learned, is the oldest public university, the nation's oldest public university.
Look at that news.
Opened
That's
in
pretty cool.
chartered in the 1700s, 1789. It held its first classes in 1795. The oldest public university in the United States. At least that's what the Google's telling me. I hope it's true. But I believe it to be true.
What the AI says here as well.
Population estimate 62,000, which puts it on par with what? Like,
I think isn't that Grand Island basically?
Is Grand Island that much? Yeah, it could be. I don't know if Grand Island's that much, but
Grand Island's 54.
Yeah, okay.
So about 8,000 less.
Yeah, Grand Island basically is what we're dealing with here. But it is a college
Grand Island
town.
with a major university.
Grand Island with a major university, the oldest university, and a huge brand, of course, in college athletics. I was going to the map, and I was seeing if I could find the pita pit that I went to.
You think it still exists?
I'm looking for it right now. Yeah, pita. Oh, they have a pita grill, but maybe they don't have the pita.
Support
pit.
local. Happer.
Their campus is beautiful.
I would assume.
I mean, it is truly magnificent. So when I was there, we sort of walked through the campus a little bit. There's like a pool. They have a great like swimming diving team.
I assume they have the
pool.
old classic buildings that you would expect from those sort of institutions.
Yeah, it's really sharp. Everything kind of looks the same,
So
right?
not like what we have in
it's
Nebraska,
uniform.
where they have 14 different architectural types.
That's
this
right.
Makes me mad every time. I think about it.
It's very uniform, like you would sort of expect. And
it's what you want. That's what it should be.
Yeah, and it looks great, and all the way over to the Bosch, where they play baseball, which is a lovely baseball. But it is one of those fields that you hate, where the backstop is high and brick. But it's a nice ballpark.
Okay, all right.
So shout out to North
trees
Carolina.
in the background of that, right?
There's some, North Carolina is a heavily wooded area, although they weren't feeding the trees this year, like the Georgia Bulldogs.
They're not.
What did you find out about Chapel Hill on Al?
Basically, Al has a tough time separating Chapel Hill from everything the University of North Carolina. So it's more or less everything in here is about it. It does mention the oldest public university.
It's good.
It talks about the connection with North Carolina and all the famous athletes that are there. Basically, founded specifically to serve the town existed specifically to serve the university. Like there was no other reason for its creation at that point. He mentions the research triangle, of which you had brought up already. Talks a lot about its walkability, and then says it has developed a strong arts and music scene, which makes sense in a college
College.
community like that. But other than that, I mean, it's really, this is of a lot of what we've done here. There's really not much separation at all from it's more or less just a literal college town.
I have a fun fact for you.
Okay.
So they were planning at one point to do, and maybe any North Carolina fans in town who are listening right now could give us more information on this, because I'd love to know. They were planning a light rail. Okay. They were planning. Now, this is significant to Omaha because we currently have something called a streetcar.
An ongoing project.
An ongoing project. Yes, it is causing me great harm. A light rail that was going to take you between Chapel Hill and Durham, which is right up the road.
What is the distance there? Like
That's 8
30
miles.
8 miles?
Yeah, that's what they always
That's
say.
how close it is?
Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
that's what they always say on all the North Carolina Duke games. They're like 8 miles, which yeah, right. So they were going to do a light rail between Chapel Hill and Durham, entered planning and engineering phases in August of 2019, and then discontinued in April of 2019.
Okay. Wow.
Did the people want this? Did the people not want this? Did they think it was a stupid idea? Did they know it was existent? I don't know. I feel like there would probably be some sort of use for that.
All I can think of is it makes me assume it'd be like hooliganism from the London soccer scene where these guys are filling their light rail and they're going up the Durham to cause no good.
That'd be fun. Like,
back and forth.
Send a bunch of bottles of pee over on the light train.
Basically, yeah. I mean, that's more or less. And then obviously, as we know, in the 80s, the hooliganism was real bad and a lot worse than bottles of pee. But yeah, that's what I had in mind. So this all actually makes me think of a conversation I had with our good friend Matt McMaster. Which, do we think he would survive? I'm
going to say no.
Doesn't seem like his kind of scene.
I'm going to say no.
I think he would like many aspects of a college town like that.
Definitely.
But I don't think the lack of professional sports interest there would be, I think, difficult.
It's too like kind of Southern.
Yeah.
And I can't really see
Can you imagine
him.
how much sunscreen he would have to go through?
Yeah. I can't really see him in Carolina blue.
That's true.
I think he's a dark color guy.
So our good friend Matt presented to me his list of the top 10 sports rivalries happening right now.
Oh, I caught a wind of this. Yes.
He did not include North Carolina and Duke as part of it at all, which whatever, fine. Like, I don't care about that in the same way that many other people do. But would you say that North Carolina Duke holds a higher regard in terms of the national collective on rivalries than Bears Packers, which he was trying to claim that America's super locked into this? And I was like, is America or
it's just you in Chicago? Yeah,
he's like, it's having a moment right now. It's like, yeah, they played a couple games. We'll see.
Joey, interstates.
Interstate 40 is running through, and then 85 is nearby in the area.
You got it. You got it. I mean, nothing that goes directly into Chapel Hill.
Well, 40 is the closest one. It goes entire west to east.
And then Raleigh has several belts and loops that go around the city and stuff like that. But you got it.
Enjoy some shrimp and grits over there.
How far is Raleigh
for that?
It's 20 minutes.
What in the world?
That's what they used to tell me when I was there. It's like everything in Raleigh is 20 minutes. That's what my grandma would tell me anyway. All right, we will take a break and come back with the 7 o'clock hour next on 1620 The Zone. Thank you, Mike Schaefer, for reminding me that the golf is on this morning. It doesn't look nearly as cloudy and windy as it did yesterday. Maybe it's still that amount of
Doesn't
windy.
look depressing.
They are wearing their hoodies out on the Hamptons this weekend, but
I don't
that's
know.
allowed?
I don't know who Puebla is, but I kind of like that hoodie.
that's a great hoodie.
Yeah, that looks like a comfortable hoodie. Shout out to us. Early Friday shout out. We talked about Wyndham Clark. He's at 6 under right now.
Look at that.
You mentioned Gary Woodland. He's at 3 under. tied
He's
for
going to
third.
win.
I hope. I would love to see Gary Woodland win again. That would be the coolest story in sports this year.
It would just show people
The man
that
beats cancer, brain cancer, and wins 2 tournaments this year, including a major.
what's going on? Why is there nobody there? Is it just too early? There's
Well, they're finishing last night's. So I don't know. Maybe they don't allow them in until the end of the suspended round.
They just showed an aerial shot.
It
of
looks
the,
actually awesome that there's nobody there. Like,
yeah, it looks
makes
really
it look-
cool.
Not that the crowd, like I want
But-
people to be there.
So when we can talk about this later when we have Jake on the show, young Jake Sorensen. When he and I went to the
Whistling Straits, is that where you went?
it was the Whistling Straits because we went to 2 majors. The first one at Whistling Straits, that was the PGA Championship, and they were when we got there early, whatever morning it was. I think it was Saturday morning. They were resuming Friday, and so we sprinted out to 16 to see Tiger or whatever, and there was still a lot of people who got there when the gates opened. So
it's that shot you mentioned it, like that was wild.
Nobody there. Maybe the New Yorkers can't get out there fast
Could
enough.
that have been the
Maybe they were
front?
recovering from the Knicks parade.
Would that be the front 9 that maybe they showed, and there's nobody there yet because they're not teed off yet? But they would be teeing off for that now.
I would think that there would be people everywhere.
Yeah, it's
8 o'clock in the morning.
What are we doing? Get it going.
What's going on with the New Yorkers? Like I said, they're just celebrating from their.
Is it a
from the Knicks
parade haze?
Yeah.
How
I
much
think
parade
so.
coverage did you watch yesterday?
I saw a couple videos. I saw Mamdani name a bunch of old Knicks guys. I thought that was a good bit. And I saw
triggering the owner.
Dolan was so mad about it. And that was basically all I saw. Couple people. Oh, I saw some twerking on light poles. There was some twerking.
Oh yeah, someone passed out. Someone brought him back, and he tried to kiss the person.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Did you see that one? He tried to pull a squints. So
He
with
passed-
Wendy
he passed out.
Peppercorn,
No.
he passed out, and they had this video of him getting. I don't know if this was fake. Once again, I have no idea what's real and what's not real anymore. But nice woman comes up and starts basically giving him mouth to mouth, and he starts kissing her. I was like, oh no.
Oh no, disaster.
Disaster.
Banned from the pool for the rest of the summer.
He really
And
is.
did you see Tyler Kolek? Nearly got.
Yeah. Tyler Kolek almost got tackled by NYPD because they thought he was just a hooligan trying to break into the thing, but it turns out he was Tyler Kolek.
I mean,
he did nothing for the Knicks in the playoffs.
I was
No.
going to say, is he
Totally
closer
don't
to a
blame-
hooligan or an NBA player?
Hey, he's on the roster. He's on the
He's
roster.
just there.
Even if he can't read, he's still there.
Oh no! Disaster! What a bad idea! Oh my goodness!
Love it. That's what's going on out at Shinnecock today. We'll tell you if there's anything that you need to be updated on. We do have some shout outs that are coming in. So
I got the tweet out there.
Yeah, appreciate you guys sending those in. John writes in,
Retweet that.
how many more buses did the Bing Bong morons burn? I didn't see any burning of buses.
I didn't see any of that at all.
Yeah, Joey, would have been scouring for it so he could.
No,
wag,
I'm not
but
like some people.
just
Some
tell people
other
to know
fans
their
hate
place
watching
and-
it.
To act like they've been there and all these sorts of things.
Sidlar writes in, if Tyler Kolek was able to read the signs, he wouldn't have gotten into that mess. This is a part of Big East lore that Schaefer doesn't know about.
There was a lot of celebrities at the parade.
In
Tyler
July,
Kolek
when
can't read.
when we're just sort of getting through the month, you can have a Big East lore.
I don't even know
segment
how to
for me.
explain these to you. It's just things
They
that
won't.
there was a
Yeah.
moment where everyone was doing a bit that Tyler Kolek couldn't read, and it was great. It was hilarious. He was illiterate. And there's no evidence to show that he's illiterate. I mean, but this is what all the internet says.
I don't like.
It was a great time.
It doesn't
was a
it doesn't
funny
make
bet.
any, as you said, you can't really explain it, so I don't know what to do with it.
Doesn't make any sense
And
whatsoever.
when like you say everyone, like 3 fan accounts.
No, it's like
Or-
the entire Big East.
Yeah. Pretty much the entire conference.
He seems like a weird place the more I spend time.
It's very odd.
So
Hey, Nebraska's playing against 3 Big East
Yeah, I
teams
know.
this
I was
upcoming
gonna spend a lot
season.
of
Welcome to the Big
Welcome
East.
to the Big
if
East.
Nebraska sweeps it, do they win the Big East?
Maybe. Well, you probably have to play like
You would have to play
They don't
UConn or
want
St.
to.
John's in the championship game.
They want to avoid that.
Not interested in playing UConn.
They would much rather play the ones they have scheduled.
You could go watch them. I mean, you could watch them go play Creighton, and somehow
UConn
Creighton
would've done
puts
home and
together
home.
their best effort of all time and beats them somehow once every single year. It doesn't make any sense.
I would have to imagine that UConn would have done the home and home. Nebraska probably just didn't make that phone call, would be my guess.
Well, isn't there a
Would
rivalry
you-
between Nebraska and UConn at the moment because of the
Oh,
whole
the,
basketball capital?
What do you think they would have said yes if
Probably not.
if Fred would have
Nebraska's
called?
probably not on the high enough level. But after last year, I don't know what. Like, what would? It's not like UConn would lose anything. You know, if you don't win the game, you're losing to a potential quad 1 team.
Yeah, like who? Yeah,
So I don't know why they would have said no. Their schedule's probably already so full that they don't have room to take on another team.
I would really enjoy that. We have not got a UConn.
If Troy
Nebraska.
Dannon's going to make everyone lose their seats to see Nebraska play South Carolina upstate, they can at least have somebody good come in once.
That is true. That's a good point that we didn't mention.
There's got to be some
yesterday.
incentive.
I think I did a little bit in my rant.
You actually, you know what you did?
Yeah.
They should bring in some big non-conference opponents for these home games. Now, Fred would already set the.
They tried. They really. So
Yeah.
from what I understand, they were trying to schedule, but
UConn.
everybody. No, well, I don't know about UConn. I think the big one they were trying to get was Texas, but I think nobody wanted to do anything that wasn't a neutral site game. Like they couldn't get home and home, so they're playing a bunch of neutral site games.
and you still don't have tickets.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, just different tickets.
I have tickets, but in 27, 28, who knows where those tickets will be?
Could be kicked out of the arena entirely. Who knows? They might put you on the roof
Probably.
or something like that. All right. So I was reading Bill Connolly's Big Ten preview. He does all the conference previews and he does a great job on all that stuff. And he had, just for the record, he had Nebraska ranked, I think it was 9th on the SP Plus on the projections this year. Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, USC, Michigan, Penn State, Washington, Iowa, Illinois, Nebraska. So 10th. And then Minnesota, UCLA. Like so top 50 teams. Nebraska's 10, Minnesota's 11, UCLA's 12, Northwestern is 13, and they're 49 in the SP Plus. So 13 teams in the top 50 for Bill Connolly's SP Plus. And then there's your bottom of the league, which is projected to like, hey, these are the teams where it's difficult to see them going to a bowl game. Mike Schaefer's favorite Wisconsin Badgers are third to last in the SP Plus to start the year. Very exciting for you, I'm sure.
It's going to be tough for the Wisconsinans to get off the ground if they don't win games.
The Wisconsin Assance.
Yeah.
The
I just go with Wisconsin.
That's actually probably a lot better. Purdue is scheduled to suck, according to SP Plus. It's a very, 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 very bottom.
Imagining Barry Odom getting an alert on his iPhone. Suck.
Oh, is that what we got going on
All
today?
right, guys, we got practice, but also we're gonna suck.
So here's what got me thinking. When he wrote about Nebraska, there's sort of a blurb on every team, and he does a good job of sort of explaining like what's back and what they're going to lean on and things like that this year. And so it's really the last line. I won't bore you with the details before, but the last line is this. This is clearly on Nebraska. This is clearly going to be a solid team. But unless Calandria has another gear or Orich is an absolute magician, a ranking in the 30s feels about right. And I don't know that you would find a lot of Nebraska fans that would argue with. Maybe the thing that they would argue most with on that is this is clearly a solid team, just with the way the wind is
A
blowing.
certain subset of the fan base would fight you
Right.
tooth and nail
Like,
that this team.
I
could
can
be
already
considered
feel
solid.
John tapping out a text right now on the
You know
text
who
line.
else was solid? Jeff Sims.
That's what he's saying right now.
He's in
So-
the middle of typing that out now, just deleting it all.
Let me ask you this. Is part of the lack of excitement for what is going on right now the fact that you could basically throw out all of the possibility for a huge season this year?
Yeah, that's
Right.
really interesting.
Like we've had we've had the potential for a big breakthrough in. I mean, we could even just cut it down to the Rhule era.
Well, just 24 and 25 were supposed to be breakthrough years.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I could really like. There's a world where they win 10 this year, and
Yeah.
that's the breakthrough. It feels like there's almost no world in which that happens this year, and I do feel like that is cutting off some of the buzz right now.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's like a part of me that's like, okay, if Nebraska finishes the year and for some reason there's some rankings that everybody agrees and they finish 34th, weirdly, is that not like significant better progress than where they've been?
I'm like, that's a fine season.
And yet at the same time, if you just told everyone, hey, your football team's going to be the 34th best team in the country at the end of the year,
there's like,
it's like, okay,
whatever.
Great. Like,
I'd rather have them either be terrible or awesome.
What does that mean? Did they beat anybody of substance? No.
Do they beat Iowa? No.
Do I feel better at the end of the year?
Not really.
They lost to Ohio State and Iowa to finish the season. Yeah, but they got that ranked win. It depends on where Washington falls on the scale.
You don't get any points for having 3 straight 7-win seasons.
Yeah.
You know, like you just kind of don't. And I'm not arguing that you should, but there is something in there. Like that is objectively a good thing. Even if you're not comparing it to what it had been before. Like it's good to be able to win a bowl game or get to a bowl game and all those things.
Again, I feel like we've said this, or at least maybe I've said this, and you're just annoyed because I've said it a bunch, or not just you, but other people. They have, I think, and I don't even know that it's arguable, reset the floor of what the program is. Like, that's why when I hear from people that are like, they'll be lucky to win 4 games, it's easy for me to ignore that.
Wrong.
I don't see that.
Yep.
I agree with the assessment that they're clearly a solid team.
But floors don't get people excited.
Right. And so the
hey, here comes the floor guy.
The problem is when the ceiling never feels like it moves away from where the floor is at, you feel like you're suffocating. And that's kind of how Nebraska football makes people feel at this point in time, because there is no like real excitement that comes through. Now, the argument against all of this is if it can all be put together and Nebraska does break through, there would be a euphoric sense of accomplishment.
100%. It would be the most, not the most. I mean, I don't want to go too hyperbolic here, but if they do break through this year, and if they do have that breakthrough season that I just told you was next to impossible, like it just doesn't feel like we're trending that way.
Has to be it, but if they're like 7-4, which would be remarkable, they'd be 7-3 going into the Ohio State game. And then you say they lose that, they're 7-4 against Iowa, they win that game. I just want to know what that looks like. You would
have done something that nobody expected you to do. And Nebraska hasn't even had an individual game where that's been the case in several years. You know, as evidenced by the fact that they haven't had a top 25 win in a decade.
Yeah, I mean, their best win remains against that Colorado team, which was a top 25 team, but wasn't at that time.
By the way, this year we will the 10-year anniversary will come and go
of the
last time Nebraska's beaten a ranked team without Nebraska beating a ranked team. It will cross over 10 years.
Doesn't even seem possible.
10 years
doesn't seem possible. But yeah, I think you're onto something. I mean, a lot of the apathy is that there's not this upside of, they're not going to be competing for a Big Ten title. There's already an expectation that you have 3 obvious losses on your schedule. The question of where another one might come from. There's the expectation from at least a large segment of the fan base that they can't compete with Iowa, which I don't have because they've been competitive other than last year.
They can compete with them. It's just can they beat them?
Yeah, they can't do the things that allow them to win.
Right. Which is sort of the point.
Usually, like I can't speak for you, but if I'm trying to play in something and win, doing the things that allow you.
That's one where I think it's become a lot more crystal clear, right? I mean, people can argue over whether the floor is higher or the ceiling is higher or lower or whatever it is. When it comes to that Iowa game, we've just seen so many times, and obviously last year notwithstanding here, I've just seen so many times where Nebraska's been so close in that game. It really comes down to if you beat them. You just have to beat them at this point, I
mean, I think about how people would have reacted at the end of 2024 if they just don't have the muff punt and you win that game, or you get Caleb Johnson out of bounds.
Just tackle the Caleb Johnson guy.
You win the game, or you got a guy who can snap it to your kicker, or whatever had to be done to win that game. Like the fervor and excitement coming into 2025 would have been through the roof.
It would have been.
And so it's not like that's part of it for me. That's why I don't think everything is so awful, because I think they are like right there to getting people excited again, but they have to ultimately do it. And whether, a year of which your best win could be against Illinois or Washington, if you don't beat any of those other 4 games that Iowa and the 3 top 10 teams, is that going to be enough for people?
Yeah.
And again, when I say enough for people, I don't mean I don't think Matt Rhule is under the gun this year.
No, it just cuts off some of the buzz about it,
enthusiasm.
Yeah. And that's why I mean we could look ahead a little bit to this weekend as well. I mean, they're doing this whole recruiting thing and whatever, and there's already a limit to how much people get excited about recruiting, and
especially now
on announcements and things like that. But even stuff like that is just met with okay. I mean, come on, what are you really going to give me here? What are you really going to show me? I think that's the attitude with the entire program right now. But I do think, like you said, Schaefer, it should be noted that this is not. There are worse spots to be in.
Yeah,
there are definitely.
Well, they've been in the worst spots before. Yeah. Like that's part of it.
But I don't feel like this Calandria thing is going to, push you. Like he is an unknown in the sense that we haven't seen him in a Nebraska uniform and we don't know exactly how it's going to go. But I don't feel like his ceiling is so high where he could drag Nebraska up above what they're, to their ceiling.
You would need, and I don't think this is what's going to happen, but you would need a Trinidad Chambliss like outcome where suddenly this guy with this like swagger comes in and he plays his style that allows you to sort of break through the doldrums of what your offense is. And what that does is it makes Isaiah Hunter better, and it makes Ja'Cory Barney better, and it makes Luke Lindenmeyer even more of a potential weapon for you, and all these other things. But, is that going to do it? Because you still have to have the competency of the other side of the football. You need your special teams to play well. You need Matt Rhule to coach well in big moments.
Yep.
All of these things that have to happen independent of Calandria.
This is a great way to look at it. So think about those individual outcomes. How many of them need to be at their like highest possible, potential outcome in order for Nebraska to win 10 games this year? Or is there even a path for Nebraska to win 10 games?
I mean, there's definitely a path. Like
so like you would need
there's a world
highest
where they can
possible
win 10
outcome
games.
of Calandria, highest possible outcome of Orich. Like there are only so many unknowns on the roster.
If you got both Rob Orich's defense is immediately, let's say it's like 2023 level, people just start making plays and you get your defensive linemen like Williams Winery becomes the 5-star stud that he is, and Riley Van Poppel is more like the early career guy, and all of these other things. Let's say Jashir Whittington, who Michael Severe can't stop talking about, is really good as a defensive lineman and is disruptive. And then your linebackers are good and your defensive backs are making plays. So all of that's happening, and Calandria is good. Yeah, there's a world where they can win 10 games, which means you take one of those between Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State, though. And if that actually happens, people are going to be over their skis.
That would be the breakthrough.
Yeah.
I just don't necessarily
the likelihood of that is very low.
So Connolly writes on
let me real quickly, since we're in hypothetical land, which is more likely to you? Anthony Calandria is better than expected, or the Rob Orich defense is an immediate success?
Rob Orich.
Like if either of those are a possibility.
Rob Orich.
I'll be honest. My expectation, Rob Orich is going to have an above average defense.
I agree.
And so like the gap between getting the above average to like good, great doesn't seem as significant to me as Anthony Calandria being a great quarterback.
Agreed.
So I'm with you on that as well.
That's not even close for me.
Yeah. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I think of you as more of the Calandria guy of the two of us, but I don't think it's like significant difference.
I would not label myself as a Calandria guy. I'm not a Calandria mandria, if you will.
You're not a I can't do
Caland man.
Caland man. Okay.
I am not particularly.
See, this is where we need someone to just go out on the street and ask people, are you a Caland man? Like at the CWS, you see anyone wearing Nebraska gear, you're
It
like,
sounds
"Are
like a
you going, man?"
McMaster thing. Just have Matt
I've
do
often
that.
wanted, and we don't have enough people to do this, but I would love to have like a parking lot reporter or a tailgate lot
I
reporter,
know.
and to have them break in with, yeah, we're going to check in with Matt over at the tailgate.
I've thought
lots."
about this before too. Yeah. Because we do come up with questions like these a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why don't we just go bounce this off some people?
Mostly, I just want the like awkward, like, what the hell are you asking me?
Yeah.
But
And we would
yeah.
not ask them if they've ever heard of Runza or if they like it or not.
Yeah, well, that's other people's thing.
Yeah. All right. So Connolly also writes, things obviously aren't going poorly, talking about Nebraska. 2 straight winning seasons after 9 straight sub 500 seasons is by definition solid, but Rhule and the Huskers entered year 4 with a strange sense of stagnation. Coordinator Dana Holgerson has made the offense fun, quote unquote fun, and Rhule just replaced Raiola with a flawed but incredibly enjoyable transfer in Anthony Calandria. But Rob Orich will be Nebraska's 4th defensive coordinator in 5 seasons, and Rhule will be awfully reliant on transfers for a defensive turnaround. Culture building isn't what it used to be, and we'll see if Rhule can guide Nebraska higher up the ladder. And then he goes on to talk about all the new, guys that they will be depending on defensively this year. But as we just mentioned, I do think, weirdly enough, I do think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I have
on that side of the ball.
way more confidence in Nebraska's, defensive transition to go better than Dana Holgerson's fun offense.
Fun.
I had lots of fun. All those trips into the red zone where they didn't score points because they can't pick up a yard.
Where is
all
Hooray?
of those great plays on the back shoulder throws in the end zone that didn't result in touchdowns? Hooray! Yeah, that's the Dana Holgerson offense right there.
They're terrible.
That's accurate.
They weren't terrible. They just
couldn't get it done.
They just nothing.
They were
really.
terrible in some respects.
Yeah,
They were fine in many,
right.
but fine doesn't do anything for you either.
John writes in, there's a world where Nebraska wins 10 games, Schaefer. Breakfast beers at work are a great thing, aren't they? What?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a world where they win 10 games.
Schaefer's not drinking any beers right now.
Is it the 99% outcome? Absolutely not. Like these people that are so locked into this idea that nothing can happen are the same idiots that went into the last basketball season and told you there's no way in hell Nebraska basketball can do it.
You're an idiot. I wouldn't call it like on the table, but like within the realm of possibility is not a very high bar to clear, right? Like it's
is it a 5% outcome? Sure.
Yeah. Right.
Does it happen in college football? Yes. This is college. Like, this is the other dumb thing about what's happened with Nebraska football is that we have just predetermined every outcome is this because it couldn't possibly be anything. Nothing good could ever happen here, despite evidence of the contrary throughout the landscape of the sport. But because it's Nebraska and we have to just be mad if we're that type of person, then it just has to be that no matter what. Are they likely to win 10 games? No. Could they win 10 games? Yes. Am I drinking beer right now? No. Will I have beer later? Yes.
You will on when we do Bit Week and we steal all the other shows' bits.
It would be a one beer Friday, wouldn't it?
Could be interesting.
We'll have that movie club segment.
Joey will be having a old fashioned at 6:30 in the morning.
I'll make you
driving him home.
I'll make you guys old fashions. How about that?
I do not want an old fashioned before the hour of 10 o'clock in the morning.
I don't think so either. And it also seems like Joey makes them particularly strong, but
I'd like to see.
I could
Joey,
say
you
that.
should make a video.
I would drink an old fashioned with Joey, but I think it needs to be an evening.
I want to see Joey in like an apron and a chef hat making an old fashioned.
Why is he wearing an apron?
I don't know.
Why the hell would
Feels
I
like
need
it
an
could get
apron for
messy.
that?
I'm not sure. I want to see a video though. That sounds like good content to me. All right, let's take a quick break. We will come back with Mike Sauter. He's running this thing, right? Like this is his deal
Every year.
This 7-on-7 deal. It's
He's probably standing with a bucket hat, protecting his skin. Using Matt McMaster levels of sunscreen, though he's more tan than Matt is.
He is. But he has to protect his bald head. We'll be back with Sauter after this on 1620 The Zone. All right, welcome back. Happer and Schaefer, 7:30 here on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Joined now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline by Mike Sauter from Hurrdat Sports and NEB Preps. Hello, Sauter.
Hello. I think you guys are a very solid team.
Thank you. I don't know what what is he referencing?
I don't know. I have no idea.
What are you referencing?
The Dan Wetzel article. Come on.
Oh, he's referencing the
Or the
solid from the
yeah.
Bill Conley article.
Ah.
He's calling us solid,
Yeah.
like how 7-6 Nebraska's solid.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But there's very little chance of a breakthrough. Would you agree with that?
No.
Do you think we could ever be a 10-win team?
Yeah. I think you're better than 7-win team. There you go.
You have you might have a 10-win event with this 7-on-7 tournament that you got going. Holy smokes, man. I saw Trey Taylor running around like crazy yesterday. Was that the only highlight? I doubt it.
No, gosh, guys, like he can spin a football. He is so good. Like I've been doing this, for this tournament. This is the 10th year.
I was gonna say we're at 10 now.
Yeah, 10. Had a couple years off there for reasons. But since 2011, I guess I've been covering high school sports in Nebraska, and we've had some good high school quarterbacks. Obviously, he could be the best one that we've seen. Pure quarterback in Nebraska. For a high school team in Nebraska. I thought that was Zane Flores because Zane's high school career was phenomenal. And then, I changed to it's probably Jet Tamala. But Trey's pretty dang good. And he can really move like his feet and all that. So that's also, a really, really extra thing. I think he's probably a little more mobile than Jet, but they're two different kind of guys. But he can, like, tight window throws, he can do all of that. It's pretty impressive to watch, and he's pretty level-headed. Just watching him work, right? So there's no real highs, real lows, emotionally and all that stuff. So it is very impressive to watch.
I know you've seen a lot of great athletes. You've been around a lot of great athletes. You've heard a lot about Trey Taylor, and you know that you're going to be covering him at Millard South this year with the great preps coverage that you provide. But did you kind of go in a little bit skeptical given all the advanced buzz of this guy? And then now, I'm sure you were out watching practices at Millard South before, but you see him in this 7-on-7 context. Was it kind of like a light bulb? Like, okay, this is the guy everyone describes?
Yeah, I went to watch them work out 2 Thursdays ago.
Yeah. You and the rest of the media, I think, were there.
Yeah. Like it was like one after another every day, and they kind of do that on purpose a little bit. So not there's everyone there at the same time. And the first couple of minutes, I was like, okay, yeah, he's different. And then talking to coaches, they're like, he's really good, and the classroom work of it, and film breakdown, and caught the offense really fast. And obviously you're like a little skeptical. You're just gonna be. And like off platform throws, different arm angles. He just showed that like that first day. So I was very much so sold right away. But in the first like 30 minutes. And then talking to him, I'm like, okay, he's a pretty mature kid, and like, all of that. So yeah, there was some skepticism for sure, because that's just human nature, I think. But that all washed away pretty quickly. And then yesterday, just watching him, like his fastball is really, really good. Like and then obviously he made that one play that everyone I think got clips of and shared.
Yeah.
But just escaping, and because we actually in our the rules you can blitz one time per game, and so that was a blitz, and he that was a pretty special moment and play, and right to the back of the end zone, and the kid caught it. So, yeah, pretty special, and the hype's only just going to keep going, and I think it's deserved. I think it's very well deserved. He's pretty dang good.
Sauter, I don't know how you view it, but like, as we head into the fall here, like I'm sort of looking at it as like this kind of Trey Taylor like ecosystem, sort of like everybody has the ability to sort of benefit, I think, off of his presence and the coverage and all these different things. Like, is that how because you've been covering high school sports for a long time, and as well as anybody and better than anybody that there's a ton of great athletes around the Metro, but the exposure that him and his team could potentially bring, I don't know, like, what does that do for everyone else?
Yeah, I think it kind of rising tide lifts all boats, right? So, I think even yesterday we had, a ton of media here yesterday at Bellevue West for the tournament. And even like Tim Verghese was, who's that kid? Like, who's, oh, that kid. And like, wow, that guy's this. And one guy that I think can really benefit from Trey Taylor is a guy, Carter Margon, for Millard South. He's a bigger bodied tight end that didn't play football last year, but did before. And he went back out for football this year. And I think he's poised to have a pretty big year for Millard South. Just because he's got good hands, he's got good feet. He plays the post on their basketball team. So, and he moves really well and can catch the ball. So he even yesterday popped a little bit, like, other people that didn't really maybe necessarily know who he was were like, oh, that's a guy, So, and frankly, like, I'm very much so know that Tim and Bruns and BC and stuff probably wouldn't be showing up, yesterday to this tournament if it wasn't for Trey Taylor. So yeah, it's pretty cool that he can kind of do that. And then I even go to other teams like a Braylon Warren and
Right.
Westside, like that kind of, gives them more attention because everyone's going to want to compare those two and which one's better and those conversations. And, I think they're both pretty dang good and both do different things and lead their teams different ways probably. So it's yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I do absolutely think that that should raise the coverage of maybe other people in the Metro, which is really cool. Like for someone that cares enough about high school sports in Nebraska, that's been my, life mission, I think. So, it's been neat to kind of see that already start to happen.
So you mentioned Braylon Warren. I wanted to ask about him. So he goes out to the Elite 11. He kind of just surprises people out there with how he performed and sort of where maybe the progress went from his junior film to what he looked like in that environment. What have you seen from Braylon? This is a guy that you've been able to watch for a couple years now. He always feels like he's been in the shadow of something, whether it was in the shadow of replacing Rezak or whether it was in the shadow of Millard South and Jet Tamala. Now he's in the shadow of Trey Taylor. Yet throughout this entire time, one, Braylon's a great kid, just keeps putting in the work. Two, his star is sort of elevating in its own right. He's not committed to Nebraska, so he's not discussed in the same way. But this is a guy that Missouri, I think, is going to have to fight to hold on to from a recruiting sense.
Yeah, and Braylon had just keeps maturing, right? Like every year, when he was a freshman or going into his sophomore year, I guess, he got his first offer from Iowa State. And I remember I went to a Wednesday passing league at Lewis Central and wanted to do a quick like on-camera interview thing with him. And he was so nervous because he'd never done that before. He did fine. And now you look at today, it's like a totally different person. Obviously, that's 3 years later, 2 years later. He's also elevated his game. I think he can move his feet a little bit more than people give him credit for. He's not going to like pull it down and run for 50-yard touchdowns or anything like that. He doesn't need to. But he's also improved a ton. as a thrower, and kind of he used to be more of a one read guy, and now that's changed a little bit. He can come off reads and make decisions a lot better. And obviously that just comes with time and putting the work in and, film study and all of that stuff. So I think the sky's the limit for Braylon. I love Braylon and his dad, and in all honesty, his dad and I are friends. So he's done a really nice job, and coach, a guy that deserves a lot of credit for that is John Tieglin, the quarterback, I guess, guru around here that's worked with everybody from, Danny Kaline to Cole Payton to Zane Flores, like all the guys, Jet Tamala, all the guys have worked with him. So that's a big credit to Braylon and the work he's put in. And obviously, West Side's going to have a really good team this year again. And they added, a couple pieces that will really help them, on the offensive side too, as far as receiver depth and that.
All right. So we have a full championship bracket today, right? First set of games start at 9, and then we'll go all the way through the late afternoon to crown a champion in the 7-on-7 event.
Yes, correct. Yeah, 9 o'clock is the first game. So yesterday was pool play, and then depending on how teams did yesterday in their pool, got placed into the pre-made bracket, if you will. And the championship game is set for 3:15. The semifinals are 2:30, and I did that on purpose to give like a 10-minute break for people so they don't have to play like right away. And then I believe the quarterfinals are 1 o'clock or 1:30.
Yeah, one. Well, it looks like 12:31 and 1:30. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right, Sauter, great stuff. Appreciate you stopping by this morning. You got a great event out there, so keep it rocking today.
Hey, you guys have a great Friday. I'm gonna not forget to put sunscreen on my neck like I did yesterday.
Yeah, please. Wear a bucket hat or something.
Yeah, I have the bucket hat for sure.
The man lives in a bucket hat this time of year.
Good job. Good man.
I can't have the bald head getting, that ain't happening.
See you, Sauter.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Mike Sauter, NEB Preps, the Hurrdat Sports as well. He's running the NEB Preps 7-on-7 championship. Yeah, probably going to see Millard South in that final, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would expect so.
This is at Bellevue West.
Yeah, I was trying to think of where it was hosted. It moves around a little bit where he can get a partner for it. But, yep, I would expect to see Millard South in there, and we will see who else joins him.
Let's take a break. We will come back with the headlines on 1620 The Zone. All right, still to come. Friday shout-outs. We will talk to John Bishop coming up at about 8:20 as he prepares for the College World Series finals. Jake Sorensen coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. But clear out, everybody. ISO play for Joey. What are the headlines today?
Okay, headline number 1. Ancient oak tree said to have sheltered legendary Robin Hood has died.
Wow, the tree that had the Robin Hood tree. The tree died.
When it says shelter, does that mean like he lived in the tree?
Well, you'd have to
Did he
click.
stand
That-
under the tree
I mean,
to hide
that's
from
my
the
assumption.
sun and arrows?
That's my assumption, but you got to click and find out.
All right.
Okay.
Second headline. Why are Scotland fans putting traffic cones on statues in Boston?
Also curious.
Yeah, I got to be honest.
I think
We got a couple choices here. I'm probably leaning traffic cone.
Me too. I'm more curious about the traffic cones.
Agreed.
Than the
America
dead tree.
first, we always say.
So I didn't know that the Scottish fans are putting traffic cones on statues, but now I am curious as to why they are doing this. This is from the BBC. Described as the birthplace of the American Revolution, Boston's streets are teeming with monuments and landmarks that tell the story of the nation's history. And now they're experiencing something of a makeover. Scotland fans visiting the city for the World Cup have been decorating its statues with bright orange traffic cones, much to the bemusement of locals. The practice is familiar to anyone from Glasgow, where the Duke of Wellington statue at the Gallery of Modern Art has been wearing a cone at a jaunty angle since the 80s. Apparently, they have cone hats. It's a mischievous visual ingrained in Glasgow's identity and was even a source of inspiration for the graffiti artist Banksy. An estimated 20 to 30,000 Scotland fans traveled to Boston for Scotland's opening match against Haiti this week, which ended in a 1-0 victory. Anticipation for their second match against Morocco on Friday is building, and the conical pranks are perhaps a indication of high spirits. Still, this is just a lot of word salad from the BBC here.
Yep.
The Arms of Friendship statue in Charleston Navy Yard received the traffic cone treatment earlier this week. Congratulations. Designed by Gilly and Mark Shatner, the artwork features a 36-foot-long bronze octopus holding up a number of the world's endangered animals, including an elephant and a gorilla. They got coned. But why are they getting coned? Tell me, BBC.
I think to just as an homage to the other, statue back in Glasgow.
So this reminds me of the Arkansas fans with the beers hats. The beers on head. Like, I don't know what it is. So where does the tradition come from? The BBC asks.
If the Scottish people bust out a woo pig suey, it's whatever their version of that would be.
Suey.
They could have done that at the Red Sox game when they took over Fenway Park.
Arthur Wellesley, the Duke of Wellington, is famous for defeating Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815 and later becoming prime minister. The category A-listed statue of the Duke on his favorite horse, Copenhagen, was sculpted by Italian artist Carlo Marochetti and erected in 1844 in Glasgow. However, the tradition of his traffic cone is thought to have started by late-night revelers in the 1980s. For years, the locals battled the council over the placement of the cone. It said the statue had once been minorly damaged and raised concerns about potential for injury when attempting to place a cone. They do get these cones pretty high up there on some of these statues.
It's pretty amazing.
Nice job. All right. So I'm generally in support of this. This is temporary. I think it's just weird enough and funny enough.
Something like New York Knicks fans would definitely do.
The cone on the actual horse's head and the Scottish statue that has started this whole trend. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. It makes me laugh.
So it's celebratory cone topping.
Yeah, it's a friendly gesture you read in here. So if the Scottish people decide to take over your statues of cones, do not be alarmed. They are telling you are their friend.
One Scottish person says, quote, "I think the Americans are loving it, and it seems to have been well perceived."
It's too bad they're not playing in Philadelphia and doing the same to the Rocky statue.
they would not have been as happy about that.
Oh,
Nicole,
they wouldn't be.
who is visiting Glasgow from Los Angeles with her daughter, said she had seen the photos of the Boston statues on social media, but had not heard about the so-called tradition until she started planning her trip to Scotland. Quote, I messaged one of my friends in Boston who had no idea what was going on until I sent her one of the videos. I would imagine that a lot of the Boston people are like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Why are there cones on all of our statues?
I anticipate a fair amount of the Boston people didn't even know that the World Cup was happening around them.
Probably not.
Well,
In
it's like
general.
Even though it's
45
happening at
minutes away.
Boston Stadium, which is not in Boston.
It's
But famously in
right next to
Fox.
Rhode
Did you
Island.
see they had to go around to every single chair
They have
had,
to tape it.
every single chair had the Gillette Stadium thing, and they had to like basically white out Gillette
They
Stadium.
just place tape over it.
every single
Imagine if that was
chair.
your job.
Oh,
Like,
terrible.
hey, you have these
80,000
42 sections to handle today.
It's terrible.
Here, you better
They're
not run out of
terrible.
masking tape, so be efficient.
Awesome. Just awful. But
Yeah, that'd be bad.
shout out to FIFA. They can't stop the cones from being placed around Boston. Nice job by the Scots. All right, we'll take a break. 8 o'clock hour is coming up. John Bishop will join us here in about 25 minutes, talk some College World Series. Wanted to come on this Friday on 1620 The Zone. Let's get your summer a little sizzle with the Summer Sizzle giveaway with us and Arby's. Enter to win, and you can score a combo meal every week all summer long. 13 weeks of hot, delicious wins. Enter now at 1620thezone.com. Make this your tastiest summer yet. Brought to you by Arby's.
This is your last opportunity to do so.
Oh, this is it?
Like this is the last week for your chance.
Oh, so get in right now.
Get in.
1620thezone.com. Trying to throw alley-oops to y'all. That's up for you to complete the play.
Is it because summer is officially basically here by the definition of summer?
Yeah.
So we need to make
We
sure
can't
that
give
you're-
out 13 straight weeks of
Yeah,
hot,
you got to
delicious
start
deals.
sometime.
Exactly.
I know I've been doing
Summer
that.
starts
Reading,
in
I'm
2
like,
days.
oh, it's because summer isn't quite here yet.
Have
Even though
you-
we declared it on May 18th, but
Have you noticed that it is even more light in the morning?
oh,
when-
it's incredible.
It's great.
It's
It feels like
awesome.
it's an actual day.
So aren't we going to be wearing our nice fun shirts for the start of the summer? Are we going to? Is that going to be a thing starting Monday next week?
you want to
can
wear
make it a
some
thing.
fun shirts?
Just, I mean, I saw back in the sheet with all the ideas we were having, and I saw the one from May 18th where you declared it was the start of summer,
Uh-huh.
and we all wear flowery shirts or something.
Oh, I forgot about that part of the game. I mean, just so you know, Joey, you are free to wear a fun shirt
Oh, yeah.
whenever you want.
I know that.
It's just if you're ever
But-
feeling
but-
festive, you go for it.
I mean, I felt bad the other day when
you want
Severe.
to strengthen numbers, I think.
Yes.
I got
I
you.
felt bad the other day that I did not stick with the code with proper attire that Schaefer and Severe were wearing. I wore a completely different shirt from what you guys were wearing.
What were we wearing?
You were wearing like tan shirts or something,
Oh,
and I was wearing the teal shirt from Scotts Bluff National Monument.
Look at this though. I mean, I'm looking at the 10
I
day.
do remember this.
We're only going to be a high over 80 one time in the next, and there's a bunch of rain coming. This
That
is basically
is-
May again.
That tells you July or even August is going to be miserable.
My general working theory is that we operate 1 month behind of what the weather that we used to
I
know.
actually think that's
Yeah,
accurate.
that's accurate.
And so that's why August has turned into September. September is October. You get your 2 weeks of fall at the beginning of November.
I think we've done like 2 out of the last 3 years where we've reached like 100 degrees in October,
Yeah.
or like something.
It-
And then immediately after the 100-degree day in October, it's 32.
Yep.
I get so annoyed because like I just want that fall weather so bad. And instead it's like
You can't place it.
my
skip a
birthday's
season.
in October, and then that comes around and it's like it's 102 degrees. But then there's been times where it snowed on that day too.
You
So
just
I don't
you
know.
can't, like, it's a moving
Yeah.
target.
It really
You-
is.
You just really can't place it. So we'll see when it actually does end up becoming summer for all of us. I've received a text on the text line, 402-951-1620. By the way, get in your Friday shout outs coming
Yes,
up.
please. I've got one Friday shout out ready to go.
Looks like
here
I
on
have
Twitter.
2.
And I
on
guess
the-
I got a shout out ready. I got a couple.
Okay.
Oh, you have a shout out to give.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah,
right? Okay,
yeah.
good.
I have
I got a
a couple
couple.
shout outs as well.
Excellent. Here is Mike. Good morning, gentlemen. If you're interested in watching something this afternoon, since there is no baseball today, the Team USA gears up to face Australia in the World Cup soccer match live from Seattle. Let's unite to seize this momentous occasion and channel our collective energy toward their triumph. It seems like ChatGPT wrote this or something. Team USA builds on the momentum of their resounding 4-1 victory over Paraguay, having scored 4 goals, a record high for Team USA in the World Cup. Our squad exudes unbreakable spirit and unwavering determination.
That is quite a written statement.
I
I regret that I made a tea time today without checking because I assumed that the United States was playing in prime time because it's Friday.
agree. Wrong.
And I was wrong, and I will be playing golf
got it
during
wrong.
the match. I wish I was at Barrett's. Great place to go watch one of those games. It's going to be packed in there. I bet today I was there
Oh man.
when the United States played
I
Portugal.
wish I was at Barrett's.
Where's
It's great.
Where's Platt Cat?
Put that on a graphic.
Yeah, man.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I would be happy to meet anybody at Barrett. I haven't been to Barrett since I moved back.
We
here.
should all
I'll
go.
go to Barrett's.
do a post. They'd
Yeah.
be open after our show ends. We could go
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Barrett's
we-
for lunch someday.
Yeah, we could do.
We go to Barrett's. We can go to the moon. We can go wherever you'd like.
Have I ever eaten at Crescent Moon?
Did you get the food from the moon at the College World Series the other day?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, it was great.
I feel like I have
There was
missed out on
a-
some good stuff that occurred like the days that I've been gone.
There was a lot of conversation about the pork tenderloin.
Oh yeah.
A lot of conversation. I didn't have the pork tenderloin. I had a Philly. It was great.
That's a tough choice between those two things.
I didn't have. But if
You
Mike
would normally opt Philly, right?
if Mike Farron was raving about the pork tenderloin, he is a knower of pork tenderloins and a world traveler.
You know who's a huge pork tenderloin guy? It's Josh Peterson. He gets it that's like one of his go-to staples wherever he goes.
That's right. Does it? I wonder. I never saw one. I wonder if it had the tiny bun with the giant.
Yeah, I mean,
pork
one of the
tenderloin.
charms of the pork tenderloin is that it significantly outpaces the total of bread. Like you're getting more breading of the pork.
You could
tenderloin.
almost like fold it up.
Yeah,
and
you wanted to tuck it in.
You could turn it into a pizza.
So I know that you are a big sandwich guy. Where does like the Philly cheesesteak fall in like a sandwich rankings kind of
good.
thing?
It's in a
I don't
high
think it's
tier.
in your top like 3 per se.
I don't think so, but it's pretty consistent. Like
Yeah.
there are some where you just feel like, all right, this is going to be pretty good for me today.
Unless it's bad, which is rare. Like it's hard to have a bad Philly cheesesteak.
I agree.
It is consistently good.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm very rarely have I ever been like, oh, I ordered the Philly cheesesteak and I made a bad choice.
Agreed.
So
it's for that reason, it's got to be pretty high.
Yeah, I agree.
It's gonna be pretty high out there. All right. Excuse me. Back and rolling here in the
maybe power rankings with tiers needs to be sandwiches.
That's
that is. I would have to think. That's a very definitive list. I mean, like, you know what I mean? That's an important.
You're making statements about yourself and sandwiches.
That's an important piece of content.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's too much pressure?
I feel like it's a lot of pressure, but I think we could do it.
Okay. All right. We'll add it to our list that we haven't pulled up. We didn't do one. I didn't want to have Matt have to figure out power rankings. But he's he's a listener of the show, so he's aware of it. I just didn't. Without knowing enough about him, I didn't really know where to go with it. So I just punted on the entire thing and invited you in on the segment.
Have you seen some of these quotes from Matt Rhule in the Omaha World Herald?
Lay them on me.
So Matt Rhule talked with Sam McEwen. We only have a few minutes here before we get to John, but sort of and I imagine there will be more stuff from Sam as well coming from this conversation that they had. There was a lot of ground that was covered, but part of it asked him about the anonymous assistant. You know, you remember the anonymous thing that we talked about, where it was like, Rhule's a really hard guy to work for because he doesn't want you to get too comfortable. So Rhule declined. This is from the World Herald story from Sam. Rhule declined to directly address the anonymous comments, but was posed the question, isn't it accurate? He doesn't want his coaches getting too comfortable in their roles. Quote, I want every coach who comes in here to chase their dreams. If they have a chance to be a head coach, I want them to have all those opportunities. At the same time, we're trying to do something really special. I don't know anyone who's ever achieved. I tell this to our recruits all the time. I was telling this to a recruit from Florida on Saturday. It'd be really easy to stay home. And I understand you have to, but I don't know who, whether it's a historian, a business person, a musical artist, a football coach, a football player, a basketball player. Tell me anyone who's great who doesn't do things that aren't comfortable. And then he was talking about Rob Orich. He says, I'll stand on the table that no one takes care of their people better than me. So you can't have it both ways. You can't say, well, he's too loyal to these guys, but he's too hard on these. You can't have it both ways. Am I too hard on the guys or am I too loyal? Pick one thing to complain about.
That's a pretty great response.
I'm not comfortable. I'm not sitting like, well, whatever. This is a great state and we have to bring a champion to it. We have to be constantly evolving and ahead of the curve and figure out how to do it better than anyone else is doing it. There's just a lot going on here.
I genuinely appreciate the pick a lane comment.
Yeah. Am I too hard on people or am I not?
Yeah. Because here's what I know from talking to people that have both worked for Rhule and no longer do, or some of the people I've talked to are still over there. The expectation is really high for you to do your job. Really high. It's, and it's expected, like, you're in the building working. You're not there jacking around. You're not there, like, if you have a role and he's entrusting you in a role, the expectation is that you are, maybe not a master of that role, but you're working towards becoming a master of that role.
Yeah.
And on top of it, that you drop whatever it is that you're doing to go help someone else that needs help, regardless of whether you know what they're doing or not. That, so there's
I think that's a
high
great quality to
expectation.
have. Like,
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing. When he talks about the loyalty in there, and I've heard stories of this too, he's basically like looked at guys and more or less said like, hey, you get paid better here than you're doing in a different job elsewhere. Like, we need more results from you.
Right.
So like, he has a high level of expectation, but he's also trying to take care of them as well as he can too. And so that's why I love that in there. Like, pick a lane. Like, it can't be both.
Pick a criticism.
And it is true in the sense that like, he's fiercely loyal with these guys, and he wants them to be successful, and he likes young coaches, and he wants them to move on. But he also, expects a ton out of them.
There's also this thing about one thing that you hear come up a lot with Nebraska, and I don't know why. This is like a tiny little rant gong that I don't have it fully prepared yet.
Oh, okay.
But
this isn't a TikTok take yet?
The seeds of it are here. What is up with Nebraska always saying that they want to be ahead of the curve on stuff? They always talk about being ahead of the curve. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of hearing about them being ahead of
you don't understand where it comes from?
I mean, it's in reference to what they had done before.
Yeah, I mean, it's in reference to when Nebraska was great, they were in front of everything.
I want them to be.
They were the trendsetters of college football. Like, that's.
I want them to be good at normal
where they
things.
were in the 70s, 80s, and 90s if they weren't ahead of the game in a lot of ways.
They just like to talk about how they're ahead of the curve, and they want to stay ahead of the curve. And it's sort of odd to me sometimes, given that just doesn't seem like the issue to me.
To me,
you know what I mean?
It sounds a lot like when people talk about competing with Ohio State, and it's like, I would love if you could compete with Illinois before we worry about Ohio State. Sir.
Exactly.
So, to your point, for me, it's like, worry about meeting the curve where it sits, not being ahead of the curve.
Let's get on the curve.
But I understand where that idea comes from. It's that when Nebraska football was at its best, they were setting the tone of college football with how things happen on and off the field.
He says, I'm not comfortable. I'm not sitting like, well, whatever. This is a great state, and we have to bring a champion to it. We have to be constantly evolving and ahead of the curve and have to figure out how to do it better than anyone else has done it. And then he was talking about Holgerson. Every time he has an opportunity to stand in front of a group, he's good at it. That's in staff meetings, daily motivational tactics. I don't know which direction he's going in at times, and he ends up making his point. And then Rhule talked about bringing in some other folks during the summer, including Ben Sass, who has his own, obviously, he has his terminal cancer diagnosis right now. They brought him in and talked with the team. He says he always wanted to try and be ahead of the curve. It's easy to look back and say he had it all figured out, but he's telling us I got to this point and he had to figure out how to get better there. Hearing that really galvanizes everyone. And he was talking about, I think, Osborne as well in that situation. But this whole like being ahead of the curve thing always ends up popping up, and I'm like, I'm just sick of hearing that. I don't need to hear about how you want to be ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
For some reason that just hits me the wrong way.
I get where it comes from. I understand why it exists, but to your point, figure out how to at least meet the curve and not be behind it.
Let's get on the curve, something like that. All right. There's a lot of stuff in there, and I would imagine there will be more from Sam in this wide-ranging interview with the World Herald. We didn't even get to all, and we probably didn't do it good, enough justice there for what was said. But
we can try to get back to it here today.
We certainly can. But let's take a quick time out, and when we come back, we will chat with our dear friend John Bishop, who's on the road. He's on the road to Omaha.
Oh,
he's on the road to Omaha, like many folks were, but now only 2 are still on that road. I guess they've really arrived when you think about it.
The road has been cleared.
Today is car wash day at Charles Schwab Field, where
are the teams fundraising? Are they not just sending out a donation link?
No, not that kind of car wash. They will. Although now I'm imagining the players going out and washing cars, raising money. It's kind of a funny idea, actually.
The day before they play for a national title.
They raise a lot of money, probably.
Yeah, I would think so.
Back after this with John at 1620 The Zone. All right, joined now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone Hotline by John Bishop, another man in a car today. Hello, John.
Right now, traffic's pretty decent on I-80 eastbound into Lincoln. Nice courtesy shuttle there. You know, there's one thing about cars I'm really disappointed in, and I know that saying full force, I'm driving a white car. We don't have enough cool colors for cars anymore. Where's the yellow cars? Where's the orange cars? Where's the neon blue cars? Where's the purple cars? I am so tired of white cars, black cars, and then whatever weird slate color they've come up with. There you go. There's your traffic report.
Hit him.
Brought to you by Broncos, original fast food.
That wasn't I have
Serving
an
fresh
opinion.
cut fries since
but I agree with it.
1959.
I agree with the opinion.
That wasn't even my read. That wasn't even my inning, and I know that read.
that is true. That was from I think that's the 5th, maybe the 6th or something like that. I agree with you, John. Every car is either gray, white, or black these days. But I say this full well knowing I have contributed to it. I really only have ever driven black cars.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, we need to go back and it's probably dated, very dated reference, surprise coming from me, but we need the Earl Shod 99-95 paint job. Get some new colors.
Yeah, let's get some different stuff going. Schaefer is so
I don't
surprised.
even know the reference. I'm over here like I'm the oldest person in the studio right now, and I don't have a clue.
Hey, by the way, the quick reaction here from everybody is preach, John. Preach. Yeah. We need yellow cars back. And then put John with the little thought bubble over the Savannah Bananas guy. Yeah. We need more yellow cars.
That's two-tone cars. You know, my first car was two-tone. It was beige and white.
Did you get it from Weird Wally?
Exciting colors. It was still two-tone. It was different. You know, the white up top, the beige down low. You know, we need different things.
I think we need the used car salesman to lean more into the bit of it. They're just they're similar to the white and the black and the silver cars. We don't have our Weird Wallies anymore. We don't have these people that lean into being the used car salesman. So we don't have weird. Everything's just.
Shape will probably remember this because he used to be of Lincoln. They're still running the original Weird Wallies commercial. He's been dead for 15 years.
That's crazy.
I love when you would drive into Lincoln from various places and there would be the sign and it's just like he's clearly put this sign up and it says home of Weird Wallies.
Yeah.
It was great. I always appreciate it.
John, we have this on the text line. Can you ask John why everyone else at the Zone has been able to go back to their normal routine during the 2-day break and he hasn't? It's almost like he's pulling a Peterson and taking vacation during the College World Series.
Well, I am going into work today, so I mean, you know, I got to do my car wash, not of cars, as you guys established. You know, though I mean, at this point, you know, these teams have been here for 12 days, so they probably do need to raise some money to pay for the hotel rooms. But, yesterday I realized how busy I was when I got home. I needed that day. So I got my day.
Yeah, no, it's completely understandable. There's no doubt.
So
I'll be on the program this afternoon with Stibbs and Josh. So
wow. Stibbs is filling in for John, but John will join.
Okay, look at that. Getting the band back together.
I'll be a guest on my own show.
I've done that before.
Connor, you're familiar.
Yep.
We love having Connor on. It's great. All right. So Oklahoma, I think of these two teams that are playing here for the national title in this series, Oklahoma is probably the biggest surprise or bigger surprise than North Carolina. How has Oklahoma done this in your estimation, John? I mean, I know that they've gotten, obviously everybody needs timely pitching and everything else, but they're just straight bludgeoning teams, and that's not really what they were doing during the regular season.
Well, I mean, not to go full Greg Sankey mode here, but you know, the SEC does train you for the battles, and you know, they happen to, you know, they didn't run into another SEC team until they got to Omaha, and then, you know, it was I thought for Oklahoma it was kind of a favorable matchup. I think Georgia was a little bit spooked about, you know, playing at Charles Schwab Field and, you know, realizing that they just can't go and bludgeon teams 11-10 and hit, you know, 5 home runs a game. Oklahoma did hit 5 home runs in the last game that they played. But, it's a team that's maturing at the right time. I mean, this is a team that started 3 freshman pitchers. And folks, because he's kind of understated, I saw some people trying to compare Skip Johnson to Mike Leach in terms of just, how he talks. And I don't know if I necessarily see that, but, they don't look at him necessarily as being one of those elite coaches, but this is a really good pitching coach. And there's a reason why Oklahoma was here 4 years ago when they had Cade Horton. There's a reason why they're back here. He's a good pitch. He's a really, really good pitching coach. And so I think these freshmen have matured at exactly the right time. And then, they turned the power game on, 6-8 weeks ago. And that combined with the fact that they already played a style of baseball with the whole chaos running the bases thing that has always played well at Charles Schwab Field. And you mix all of those things together, and I think it's created a perfect recipe. I mean, we've seen this before where teams catch fire and, hit their stride at just the right time. Ole Miss did it. Mississippi State did it. And now it's Oklahoma. So while it is surprising by seed, when you watch them play, it shouldn't be surprising.
John, is it too much low-hanging fruit to say that these two teams are where they are because their game plays perfectly to the ballpark that they're playing in for the College World Series? Like we talked about it a little bit over the last, their run here in Omaha over the last week. I don't know that gives them enough credit for what they've been able to accomplish, but it does fit a narrative for what we've talked about at this park over the last 15 years.
It certainly does, and I don't dismiss that. I will say this, though. Best baseball teams pitch and play defense well. You rarely see teams win championships and go through tournaments like this, especially a college tournament where you're playing so many different teams in so many different locations, and you can just get through with great offense. It's always been about pitching and defense. And these two teams, especially North Carolina, they pick it really well. I mean, watching them play defense, and as I guess a 200 level connoisseur of great defensive baseball, having been around Ed Service for 20 years, North Carolina is one of the best defensive teams I've ever seen. They don't necessarily make the flashy plays, but, I still think back to the ground ball up the middle in the first inning on Wednesday when, they had the shift on and Gallagher at short, makes the pick. He's got the second baseman coming over and he's kind of off balance going to his right. He jumps in the air and, because he has very little time with West Virginia's base runners and makes it look routine. And that's always going to play well, regardless of the ballpark, regardless of the circumstances. And Oklahoma is pretty good on defense too. I mean, they've got those 3 outfielders are incredibly athletic and get great jumps on the ball. And because that park has always played big, you've needed that. And so I think it's pitching and defense that is the common thread through all of it. And sure, is there an element where, maybe, their styles play a certain way in the park? Sure. But Oklahoma still bashed, 7 home runs, 8 home runs in this College World Series. And, so they're able to make really both ends of their game work.
For me, for both of these teams, it's they've gotten the right pitching performances at the right time. And for North Carolina, that's been Caden Glauber in all 3 games that they have played so far. He's a bit of the X factor, I think, in this series. How early do you think North Carolina is willing to go to him to try to cover, to get to either the back of their bullpen or simply to end the game?
I think game 1's going to be really interesting because, and we saw Glauber in game 1, he was backing up to Caro. They've shown that they're willing, to pitch him, twice in a 3-day span. It's very possible if we go to game 3 that he's the starting pitcher in game 3, or he is like the first option. The only reason we didn't see him early in game, 3 against West Virginia was because they were up, 10-1 or whatever the score was. They eventually brought him in at the back end, but they also got McDuffie. And so McDuffie is another guy who, like Glauber, can, eat up a bunch of innings in the middle of the game. So, I mean, North Carolina is set up in great position. Oklahoma is too. I think North Carolina, that depth, especially those two guys at the back end, I think give them the edge, because if one of those starting pitchers, whether it's DeCaro or it's Lynch, they stumble, I think we saw it on Wednesday. Coach Forbes is going to go for it. He knows how important it is to win game one, because then it puts all the pressure on the other team, to win the final two. So it would not shock me if Glauber's the first option out of the pen, and then knowing full well he could come back and end up starting game three as well.
Who is a player that you're most looking for? I mean, we've seen 3 games of these two teams already, but that the nation is going to know more about after this weekend from either of these two sides.
Man, that's a tough one, because at first blush, because North Carolina doesn't have the biggest name stars in terms of the guys who've been making the headlines all year, but I think of an Owen Hull. I mean, he's probably as close to a 5-tool player as North Carolina has, and he's had some big hits in this postseason. I think he's a guy that could, make a splash this weekend. He had a big game on Wednesday. On Oklahoma's side, I don't want to say it's either of the Mercurius brothers, because they're pitchers, and so you may only see them once in a 3-game series. Maybe with LJ, you'll see him twice. But certainly one of those two fits in. But then after what we saw on Wednesday night with Desan Harris and Jason Walk hitting, 2 home runs apiece, those guys could end up being, I mean, they were each had 4 home runs coming into Wednesday night's game, and then they go yard twice in the same game. So there's some interesting candidates there. But I would say Hall definitely for North Carolina, and either one of the Mercurius brothers, particularly LJ, because he's closer to draft eligible than Xander is.
All right, John, we'll let you go. I know you got a busy day ahead of you here, and we'll talk to you on the Grum. It's been great to work with you this week, as always, and we look forward to your coverage on the finals.
Yes, Friday shout out to everybody on the crew for getting through this. It's a long process to get to this moment, and then to get through the preliminary games as we did. So Friday shout out to everybody at the Zone, and we made it, and now just 2 or maybe 3 games left.
See you, John.
Take care, guys. Thanks.
That is John Bishop, who works at 1620 The Zone, but this weekend he works for Westwood One.
1620 The Zone's hunk, John Bishop, if you were Mike.
He's
Farron.
honking for 1620.
Not hunk.
Oh, hunk. That's right.
Mike Farron just kept calling him a hunk.
Yeah, he was doing that bit.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from, but it was killing me. He would work it in just seamlessly.
It is hard to find an edge. We had a couple minutes here before we get to the Friday shout-outs. It is hard to find an edge with these two teams as you go into this championship
very mirror
series.
of each other.
I think so too, and I think
with maybe the experience of North Carolina versus the youth upside of Oklahoma.
That is what gives them the edge, and then I think just I mean, North Carolina has been regarded as one of the best teams in the country all year long.
Yeah.
Right. So you have that.
We've kind of been doing it.
They're a little bit more veteran on the mound. I think that helps them in this situation. It certainly hasn't hurt Oklahoma that they're young on the mound during this College World Series. But I think of both teams and what they've done defensively, and I think of both teams and what they've done from a pitching perspective, and it's been incredible. And then Oklahoma has, added that power stroke, and it's been cool to see. North Carolina's superpower, in my mind, is their ability to really make you as a pitcher work hard. They did it against Rabe in the first game against Ole Miss. We were so impressed by it. And I think ultimately that's what gives the Tar Heels the advantage in this best of 3 series. But I don't know. I can really see it going because of Oklahoma's ability and their penchant to have the big hit and stuff like that. Like I don't know. It's going to be really good.
You mentioned something. I think it was yesterday, or maybe when we had you on Tuesday. You talked about sort of this triangle up the middle that North Carolina has with Schaefer and Gallagher and Hull. And I don't know who their catcher is, but usually if the strength of your team, especially defensively, is right in that spot, it's hard for teams, to be able to either put up runs, and then those guys are all really good hitters. I mean, is that 1, 2, 3 in the lineup, or
That
1,
is
3,
Shafter's
4,
lead
or-
off, Gallagher is second, Hull is third. Yep.
Yeah. So like right there is what you're talking about with Taylor Rabe, where you have those long at bats, and he was getting guys out, but he had to work really hard to do it.
First at bat of the game. I mean, Schaffner
Yep.
absolutely set the tone in that, and as in the very first, it was the first night game on going back way last Friday night against Ole Miss. So yeah, I just think they're a slightly tougher out.
Yeah.
Skip Johnson would be like, hey, don't you dare, but because they're a really tough out too. I just think North Carolina kind of outlasts them.
Yeah.
That's my guess on how this goes. But I think both teams have kind of all three phases clicking right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so who knows what ends up being the big difference maker.
With it being baseball, it's hard to say this for sure, but I'd be a little surprised if we don't have a game on Monday. If one team just takes both of these, and I guess I'd also be surprised if it's in like dominant fashion, which is sort of how Oklahoma has played.
Yeah.
And North Carolina too, I guess, if you look at the West Virginia game, but
North Carolina just drags you, and they drag you, and they drag you, and then they pounce.
They hang around, and then they're just on top of you before you realize.
Around.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they do. I mean,
do they have alligator blood?
They have alligator blood. They're gonna drag you all the way in, and then all of a sudden they're gonna get 5 in the 7th or something like that, and because you'll just be broken by that. Like they're gonna break through in those later innings of the game. I mean,
conversely, Oklahoma's just been punching its opponents in the face and then saying, "Hey, meet our intensity. You're not going to do it. Here's another punch in the face."
They are a stone wall because, like you said, they punch early, and then they'll get something going, and they'll make a rare mistake or something like that, and then here comes a backhanded play at second base, and they flip it over for a double play, or they make an athletic play at short. I mean, it's just like I've felt with both of these teams all week long. There's been moments where I've been like, "Whoa, these guys are a machine." I don't really know. It's going to take a lot to beat them because for each of them, you have to go take the game from them. They're not gonna give it to you, and that's cliche because that's just sports. But they haven't made mistakes at all. The one time was when Oklahoma slightly left the door open for Georgia the other night. And
the
that
base
was
is loaded,
and that was it. And that happened because of an error.
Yep,
and a couple walks.
So this is going to sound dumb because you don't really think about this with baseball a whole lot. But one of the things that has surprised me with Oklahoma is like they're really athletic.
They're incredibly athletic,
and on top of everything else, like you got these young power arms, you got guys that are having great at bats, and now they're flexing their muscle at the plate. In the field, like they're covering a lot of ground in the outfield. They're certainly covering a lot of ground in the infield. Like they're a much more athletic team than I guess I would have expected. Like I think they're athletic. Watched West Virginia, it didn't surprise me that they have athletes, on their team, or North Carolina with those guys up the middle, or some of these other teams. Oklahoma, I guess I was a little bit surprised, just like how springy and quick.
It's funny because I think that goes it extends all the way to the mound. I mean, their pitchers are athletic. They really are. And I was making the point.
Do you think they lead the field in arm extension to the mound?
Part of athleticism, I sat there and I watched Georgia take these big hacks and try and swing for the trees and all these different things. And then I watch Oklahoma and, they're not pressing because they're in a position of strength and all that. So factor that in. But they just get the barrel to the baseball. That is part of athleticism, right? Like just boom. And then two of the most athletic guys in their lineup, and Harris and Walk, hit 2 home runs.
Yep.
And it's not like they're swinging for the
Willits has come up big for them in the CWS.
And then the big bopper in Dayton LaChance, who hit a home run back in their first game. But
there was concern because he was the one that was hobbled, at one point earlier in the College World Series, but that we seem to be beyond that.
I think I favor North Carolina, and
I do too.
And I think in 3, but the Glauber part of this is going to have a big impact on this. And if Oklahoma takes advantage of some shaky stuff early with him, he's a young guy. I don't know. They could turn this. I could really see either result, but I'll go with heels in 3.
Yeah, it's hilarious for me because I've sort of doubted both of these teams the entire way, right? Like I never would have expected Oklahoma to get out of the Georgia Tech regional. Certainly not when they had to win 2 games to do it. I picked USC to win the Super Regional against North Carolina, and I thought they were going to do that, and they got to within 2 outs of doing it and didn't. And then I think I took North Carolina over Ole Miss, but I thought West Virginia would come out of that side of the field. North Carolina was a class of theirs. I don't think I took Oklahoma in a single game that they played, and all they did was win. So no matter what, like
I've
we've
liked
got
them
two teams
since-
where I've doubted it,
yeah.
and whatever I say, the other is probably going to come through. I'm leaning North Carolina, same thing. I also think 3 games. Like this, I want it to be 3 games, so sometimes I think I'd say things that I want to happen.
Definitely.
In this case,
That was me on Wednesday because I wanted more baseball games.
Oh yeah, no, I was a little bit perturbed that neither Georgia nor West Virginia could give us another game.
Me too.
On Thursday, because I also wanted more baseball. There's like a sad element when you know that there's like 2 days where you're not getting any games,
You're like, oh, this is
and then
it.
you're down to like there might only be 2 games left, and then the college baseball season is done,
and we have to talk about football.
You have to kick it early to football and everything else. Hooray!
Thank you, Joey. Joey has to make old fashions or whatever.
Hey, Joey's got the World Cup. He's fine.
Yeah, that's right. He's
I'm all good.
He's not paying attention to the World Series at all. All right. Let's take a break. It's time for Friday shout outs. Shout out to John Bishop for coming on the show and talking about yellow cars. That's our first one. We have more right after this on 1620 The Zone. It's time for Friday shout-outs. Everybody dreams of getting shouted out on the radio, right?
Yes, sir. And that's why we dedicate this segment to you.
To you. We already got one from John who shouted out 1620 The Zone, and then we shouted out John. Apparently, you both have shout-outs.
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, share.
It is a shout out to my friend Dave, who's the best man at my wedding. It's his birthday today.
Shout out to
We're
Dave.
doing a birthday shout out for Dave.
Happy birthday,
Good
Dave.
guy, good
Wonderful.
friend. Saw him on Tuesday at the College World Series.
The College
Oh.
World Series.
Every game. All right, Joey, what are you shouting?
Okay, I got a pair. I teased one yesterday. I'm going to give you, Connor, a shout out for overcoming your fear of heights and going on the Ferris wheel.
Now, I wouldn't consider it conquered, but I did for the brief moment.
You
like
did
you
it.
said.
You did it.
I did
You
it.
did.
And it was my idea. I was not forced
You
unwillfully.
pushed yourself.
Have
That's
you
even
listened
better.
to it yet? Do you think by listening to it, you're going to get scared again?
I'm not sure what my emotion will be.
Here's what I'll
Again,
do.
you didn't sound scared.
Well, first of all, I haven't listened to it mostly because
Should
I haven't found. I don't
should I pull the audio and then have it ready to play on Monday just so we can?
have it. Can you have it ready to play at 9:00?
I mean, I
Man,
could
be
try.
tough
I could
for 'em.
try. When during the game did it?
we were thinking in
It
between
was-
2 and 2:30.
It
So
was.
that would be
It was probably the fourth or so inning of what, Tuesday afternoon.
The Alabama
Monday
Texas
afternoon.
game.
Alabama,
Monday.
Texas. It was Alabama, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I said to everybody around me, I said, I think it's time to do the Ferris wheel today. And then so we just did it. And I just walked. Now, if I would have had to like stand there and think about it some more or wait in line or something like that, I probably would have backed myself out of it.
Or
But
you watch someone come down from it, and they're like, that was really high.
don't do that one. But no, I've never seen anybody do it. I figured if anybody else could do it.
So
then
now
I
are
could
you
do
ready to do a double Ferris wheel?
it. I did the Vegas, the high roller.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you got to do next for the next Vegas vlog down in.
That one was
For the-
bad for me.
You and
I
John
thought-
should go on the Ferris wheel down in Vegas when you guys go to
It
for
sounds
the
like
Players Era.
tremendous content to me to follow you around at a county fair.
I thought that would be easier because it's enclosed on the
Sure.
Vegas Eye
Yeah.
thing. But oh boy, that one is high.
That one's not bad.
It's high. So
you're-
there's a bar in there, and I was just guzzling drinks. I was like Joey and old fashions. Oh, please.
I like
I don't
I
recall. it
like
being
5 that day
bad.
in Vegas.
It was bad for me. It did not work for me. Here is Wes. This repeats a shout out I did from last Friday. A huge shout out to all of you at 1620 The Zone for the great work all you did during the College World Series. Connor, you, John, and Mike Farron announcing games better than ESPN. Josh on the field and the producers. In between games, the guys had great topics to discuss. So thank you to all. You rock. Wes, shout out to you.
Shout out to Peter and Jake producing the games, and then Dan running the joint in the building.
Good luck with that, Dan.
Good luck with that, Dan.
Here's Pedro. Hi, guys. Another shout out to Omaha City planners that laid out our streets in a grid. When out east and the streets layout does not make any sense. That is true in some East Coast towns. How can you have 6 different streets meet in one spot? Plus, quit honking at me. My plates tell you I'm from out of town.
That's why they're honking. They know.
Avenues and streets and numbers and all sorts of different things. They're all combining in one place. That doesn't make any sense.
Those are built on a very different grid, though.
Grid cities.
Yeah.
Shout out to Grid Cities. Here is Christopher. I wanted to give a shout out to my mom. She's been going through a lot, including breast cancer and the loss of my dad, celebrating her moving to a new house and enjoying retirement.
Hey, what a great shout out.
Shout out to Christopher's mom. From the 402, shout out to Connor for riding the Ferris wheel. Wow, shout outs to me. Jim and O'Neill, shout out to my dad on Father's Day weekend.
Happy Father's Day to all the
shout
fathers
out to
out
all
there.
of them. That's
He's
great.
going to spend it the same way he has for the last 5 years, watching his grandkids play baseball. Love you, Dad.
That's a good grandpa right there. We have a shout out from Belmont Bill.
All right.
He says, shout out to Troy Dannon. My baseball
Dannon.
team was good enough to host a regional, and my basketball team got to the Sweet 16. Of course, I will be priced out of attending games soon, but at least the football team will be the best 7-win football team in the country year after year.
That's a great shout out.
Do we need to get a shout out for Norbit?
Oh,
Can't forget that.
I haven't seen any.
I know, but I don't
Schaefer-
want to get yelled at.
Schaefer did not forget last week, so shout out for Schaefer for not forgetting the
Yeah.
shout out.
Maybe
Shout out
Schaefer's
Norbit.
off the Norbit bleep list. Like this is
I
good.
think I'm still on the Norbit bleep list.
Okay. Let's see here. Plaquette says on YouTube, shout out Farron. Absolutely, shout out Farron. Farron was talking about he was honking for Phoenix when we were talking one day because it's on a grid. And I was lamenting in my times of going to Phoenix how difficult, like how far everything was
the
away.
sprawl.
And he was like, no, this is the best, unless you have to go from like Goodyear
What is he
to
talking about?
He loves He loves
Well, no, I
Phoenix.
love Phoenix too, but you just know getting in your car, it's not like Raleigh where everything's 20 minutes away.
That's what I said. And
It's,
he's like,
you know-
no, everything's close. And I'm like,
There's
that's not
Tucson,
right.
Arizona.
Okay, if
Two-
you're just
Tucson's
staying
right
in
there.
Scottsdale, everything's close. But if you're going from Scottsdale to Goodyear to catch a game, you're going to have to drive a little while.
That was my point. I think Farron is a bit of a contrarian, but that's okay. We love
Yeah.
Farron. Shout out to
I
Farron.
love Phoenix, so I don't want this to come across as an anti-Phoenix.
No, we are definitely not anti-Phoenix. On this.
Very pro-Phoenix.
John writes in, shout out to all the Americans that are enjoying watching our foreign visitors discover America while ignoring a sport that often ends in ties.
I saw a compilation this morning, and one of my favorite parts was someone going to a Walmart and seeing I forget what the brand was, but it was blueberry muffins like in a box, and they were just so amazed to see it.
What?
Yeah,
Can you believe they have this in America?
Yeah.
Muffins in a box. What's next?
Here is Tommy. Shout out to Ahmad Hudson for knowing how to endlessly bait Husker fans. Yeah, he might be pretty good at that, to be honest with you.
I don't think he's baiting anybody. I think it's Nebraska fans now want to be upset that they might
They wanna
not
be
get a guy who's
triggered.
committed elsewhere.
Oh. Well, he does. He's doing the social media games deal.
Sure. I mean, that's just what it is. It's 2026.
Maybe consider that Husker fans are easily baited.
That's probably true.
It could be part of it. Those are our Friday shout outs, folks. Shout out to you all for listening all year round. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. 9 o'clock hour up next on 1620 The Zone. Hey, look, an extra shout out here from Michael Severe. Friday shout outs to the College World Series and 1620 The Zone for allowing me to fill in and get away for a short time from filling out grant applications and drafting MOI requests. You're welcome. So what you're saying is, Michael, that we should just ask you to fill in all. I mean, he always does say yes.
Yeah, memorandum of incorporation. Is that the MOI that he's referencing here?
I don't know if that is an acronym. I'm not sure.
A medium of instruction?
Medium of instruction.
There's moi from the French language.
I don't know. I don't think it's that. It's got to be memorandum of something.
Yeah, it's got to be a memorandum. That's all I got here.
I'm not sure.
There's a Nigerian dish called moi moi.
But you are welcome.
Steamed
Michael.
bean pudding with a mixture of blended peeled beans, onions, and various spices. Would you eat it?
Say it again.
A steamed bean pudding made from a mixture of blended peeled beans, onions, and various spices.
I've never thought about what a blended bean might taste like before.
I mean, I assume just sort of like, smashed beans probably would to a degree. Bean pudding is not a thing I've ever said out loud.
Doesn't sound like a thing at all.
Doesn't make me want to run out. Certainly not. I'd probably like it less than hot pudding, which I already was not a fan of.
Almost sounds like Google is playing a prank on you or something.
I don't know. Could be. I've never been to Nigeria.
Theo writes in, expecting Happer and Schaefer from the Schwab tomorrow morning. CWS isn't over yet. We should tell people what is going on our
good
shows.
Good idea.
For this weekend. If only I knew off the top of my head. So we know that there is a show that is before the game tomorrow, which it will go up to 6:45. It will start at 4. It will be featuring you, Mike Schaefer, yes?
Yep.
And
Me and
Matt
McMaster.
McMaster and Josh Hodson, of course, who will never
Lives
take
there.
a day off and lives there. And yeah, it'll just be there. So then the game coverage will take over at 6:45. Game will happen. And then game 2 is scheduled for Sunday at 1:30. A village show will happen from 10 until 1:15, featuring Matt McMaster and me, moi. Not M-O,
Yeah.
different kind of MOI, but
Yeah.
moi.
The French MOI.
And then potentially game 3 after a full day of programming on Monday. If there is a Monday game, I believe Unsportsmanlike Conduct will be live from the Omaha Baseball
Which
Village.
is going to be Josh Peterson and actually Matt McMaster. So,
Really?
yeah, that's what I learned yesterday. I was asking on this.
Whoa.
Which, if he does a show of all three of us in 3 consecutive days, do we call that a Matt trick?
Yes.
Okay.
Why is it Matt? Is he not doing his own show that
He's
day?
doing both shows, apparently.
What a guy.
What a guy, indeed.
What an absolute guy.
Yeah,
Good luck with that, Dan.
I was surprised to learn this because when I had asked around, it was the aforementioned Severe.
I figured it would
when
be
I asked
Severe. Yeah.
Severe, he's like, I don't know anything about this. So then I asked someone. Mainly I wanted to make sure it wasn't me, and so then it turned out to be Matt.
And he confirmed this.
Well, I don't know.
Is
Matt
it?
confirmed it, but someone else
Okay.
that's involved told me.
All right, good enough. All right, Joey, let's hear it. I haven't heard this yet, so I could be slightly embarrassed. This is me live on the air being very scared as I was riding the Ferris wheel, which is put together in a short period of time, does go quite high, gives you great views of the city and the ballpark and things like this. I am not a heights guy, okay? But I decided to try and not overcome my fears, but at least face them for a few brief minutes on Monday. Yes.
Yeah, it was
It was
Monday.
Monday afternoon.
Monday afternoon. Here is how it sounded.
And the 1-1 to Torres. Inside the count, 2-1. Connor, are you riding the Ferris wheel?
Yeah, excuse me, umpire. That was a strike. I'm about 700 feet away from home plate right now. That was a good spin around the Ferris wheel. You guys should know I am terrified of heights. So just so you know.
The things you'll do for a broadcast, Connor.
That's right.
Torres chops it foul. It's 2-2.
Okay.
That Ferris wheel looks like it's cooking. Did they turn up
I'm
the
going up right
speed
now.
on it?
I don't know. We're going through our second loop right now, and we're almost at the tippy top at this exact moment.
I got you. I see you.
How green are you right now?
I don't know.
That's terrifying.
I'd like to get off.
Swing and miss. Jason Torres chases a high fastball at 96 for the first out here in the fourth. I would wait until it gets down to the bottom before you get off.
Smart.
Just, I know you don't have a lot of experience with it, so.
Yeah, and don't drop anything either.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I'm holding on to this giant pole in the middle like you wouldn't believe.
7-1 Texas. John Lembas. Rojas records his fourth strikeout. Leb a long at bat, 11 pitches before drawing a walk in the second. Left-handed hitting Aussie takes outside the count 1-0.
So how many rotations are you allowed to get?
We're going around for a third time right now.
Do you think you could stay on it all day because of your
That'd be
fame
one way to-
locally?
I'd really prefer not to. Three's enough.
Pitch of the dirt, look out 2-0.
Well, it might be one good way to, alleviate your fears for not doing it.
Yeah, I've tried a few different times to go on different Ferris wheels, and nothing really sticks, It's
Well,
pain every time.
It's because you haven't ridden him for an hour.
It's true.
Here's the 2-0. There's a strike. It's 2-1.
Heck, you never know. You could set some kind of a Guinness record if you decide to stay on there for, a day or two.
I'd also not try that. Hey, guys, could we slow this thing down? Yep. All right. They didn't hear me. We're going up again.
That's my
Left-handed
favorite.
hitting Lem waits the 2-1. Swinging a drive deep
And
to
there
right
you go,
center
it's a home
field.
run.
This one is back towards the wall, and it is gone for a home run.
There you go. I don't think they checked in with me
Number
again.
10 on the season.
Nice
for
job.
John
All right, I sounded normal.
Yeah,
I sounded
that's
normal.
what I was trying to tell you.
I was
proud of
scared.
you.
I was scared.
Good
Do
job,
you like
Connor.
the idea of you just continuously riding the Ferris wheel?
For days on end.
Another local radio host here in the state once did that for getting his weather prediction wrong. And he rode it
Ooh.
at the Shields for the entirety of a day.
Oh, I remember this.
and he did interviews with his guests from the Ferris wheel.
Who did that?
Jack Mitchell.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He didn't want to do the walk of shame again because I think he'd lost so many toenails.
That's a good bit. That's a really good
No,
bit.
it was great. I couldn't join him. He asked me to be one of the people, and I was out of town that day, but I was really sad. I think it would have been a lot of fun.
So he did several hours of radio from the Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel.
Gosh, when was that?
Oh gosh.
This
Okay.
is several years
I want to say
now,
2019.
right? Yeah.
I want to say 2019.
Okay.
Because 2018 he had done the walk of shame where we bought him. John Bishop, Josh Peterson, and myself bought him a Pat Fitzgerald Northwestern jersey that he walked in for several miles. Bishop and I joined him on that walk that year. So I think it was 2019.
Was he wearing his hat with the arms?
Yep.
Okay.
Very much so.
I love when he does
And then
that.
the next year, he always does it around June, either maybe a week earlier than the CWS. But I don't know why I couldn't go, but I think it was 2019. He did the Ferris wheel at Shields.
It's a good bit.
And I think the monotony of it wasn't so much like some of it is you don't get a different view ever. You're seeing the same thing over.
Well,
and
I would
over.
imagine once you
But
get
the
off,
music, he said, was sort of annoying at one
Ooh.
point because it's just the same.
I would imagine that once you get off, it's a little jelly legs.
He was allowed like a break every hour to go use the bathroom, basically.
Okay.
And if you needed to get food or whatever.
When you go to the ocean and like you're hanging out in the ocean all day long or
Yeah.
in some sort of a wave pool.
You
or
get
something.
the rhythmic wave feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even long after
Yep.
you're off it. I wonder what would happen to your mind if you're on a Ferris wheel all day long.
Yeah, my body does that with roller coasters where you get off of it and you have that kind of that feel
Yeah.
to it.
I was happy to be back on the ground.
That's fair.
I was happy to be back on the ground. And but I did do it.
This reminds me again that when we do our show from Grand Island, I want it to be from Island Oasis so we can hit the lazy river at some point in time.
Now, Lazy Rivers I could do.
Yeah, we get done with the show at like 10 a.m. We throw it to Matt. We're just jumping right into the lazy river.
That sounds awesing.
It really does.
Honestly,
Just
we could
jump
do,
into the Elkhorn River.
in theory,
go
we could
tubing.
do a show from the Lazy River. I mean, we could just have
That would just sitting there with pina coladas.
it's
Can you
basically
imagine a Friday shout out
it's
segment?
kind of
as we're
disgusting, actually.
just laying there on the lazy river?
It's basically like a hot tub.
We'll have
you
our
know.
pickle
Well,
spice
the
lot.
water isn't that hot.
Have our pickle spice vodkas going in the lazy river.
disgusting. Joey had to ruin it.
It's just the idea of sitting in the same spot in a pool for that period of time is kind of gross.
Do public pools do that? Like, do pools in general gross you out?
No,
because Severe, I think, and Jack Mitchell's one of these people. Like the idea of being in a pool, just like
no,
a hotel pool. Or
I'm fine
pool.
with that.
I don't care.
Yeah,
that doesn't bother me.
But sitting in the same exact spot in a pool for several
Will you be
hours,
moving? Does that help? You're on your floaty, just floating around.
Yeah, a little monotonous. Could potentially work though.
Yeah,
could be.
I just love the idea of doing the Friday shout out segment while on a lazy river.
Yeah. Shout out to this
Norbit
right here. Shout out to Norbit. Yep, and everything in between.
Be great.
That could be that could potentially work. That is for sure. All right, so we have the weekend coming up. Jake is going to join us here in a few minutes. What are you most looking forward to on this big sports weekend? Is it the College World Series? Is it the USA playing soccer this afternoon?
It's definitely the soccer, though I'm not going to be watching it. So I guess in my case, I'm most looking forward to seeing how I play Benson for the first time this year. I'll be playing today.
I'm surprised it's not the Red Sea that is rising.
I am probably least looking forward to that announcement.
I cannot wait to see.
How do you anti-look forward to something? Do I look the other way? Do I look towards Iowa? What do I do here?
I have a prediction. Don't have a prediction on what the announcement is going to be, but I have a prediction on how the announcement, whatever it is, will be received. And that prediction is poorly.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair prediction.
Thank you.
I don't know that you're stepping out on a big limb.
But how polarizing it is will depend on what the actual announcement is. So I can't wait to see what it actually is, how disappointing it is, or how exciting it is. I can't imagine there's something that's that exciting, But so chances are the announcement itself is going to be underwhelming. And then the thing that they're actually going to do, whatever the announcement is, could end up being polarizing and could backfire almost instantaneously, which is I'm very excited about.
Sounds like a Nebraska football situation.
Yeah. So this is what our entire show.
Yeah, that one's not that's not ranking real high. The soccer will rank. I'm like trying to decide if I'm going to. I got for Christmas 1 year one of those things you put your phone in and you can hook up to the cart or whatever. And so I was thinking about maybe I do that and I can put the soccer game on and have it going as I'm playing. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that either. So I will look forward to that. Out of all the things, I'm mostly looking forward to the College World Series. Like I'm going to go to the game. I think I've decided Saturday after we're done with the show, going to wander in, stay for a while, if not the entire thing. And,
nice.
I doubt I'll be back down on Sunday. And then the big thing is if they play Monday, I kind of want to talk myself into going to that.
Definitely.
Especially if I can get tickets, maybe take Hudson to the game.
I'm excited to be around the College World Series on either Saturday or Sunday and to see Kevin Kugler's bright shining face and for him to be saying baseball.
Something about Kugler that catches me every time that I'm always unprepared for. He's taller than you think that he is.
He is.
Like, the
He's
normal thing
man.
with the play-by-play is they tend to be a little bit shorter than you would expect in a lot of cases, but not Kevin Kugler. He's taller.
He is.
And I saw him last month, and the first thought that I had it, man, I always forget that he's just taller.
And if you see him around the College World Series, he'll be saying baseball.
Will he have his mustache? He's been sporting a mustache.
He has?
Yeah, he was.
Whoa.
At least he was at the end of last month.
Oh, my goodness.
When I saw him.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, maybe he grew a mustache for May. Maybe he's one of those people. It was a charity mustache.
Could potentially.
We'll find out.
He's like a charity mustache guy.
Could be.
But there will be baseball. And
it's a real mustache, not one of Matt's mustaches, which is just like a more prominent above the lip, but the rest of the beard is still there.
By the way, speaking of Matt, Platcat writes in, all day at Shields, don't give Matt any ideas.
Check out my new shoes.
It's already been done. It wouldn't be the first time someone lifted one of Jack's ideas and tried to call it their own here on the station. Josh Peterson's weather predictions.
We got a text that says, baseball. I agree. Baseball. John writes in, if the announcement is Rhule stepping down and Gideon Pillow it's taking over, people will be very excited. People do like Gideon Pillow. There's no doubt about that. I don't know how that whole Rhule stepping down thing would go at this point in the summer. Probably wouldn't be particularly convenient timing.
Coming off of those quotes from Sam McEwen, or to Sam McEwen, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think that's probably happening. Unfortunately, John, you'll have to try again next year. All right, we'll be back with our dear friend Jake Sorensen coming up on 1620 The Zone.
not shake his hand.
93.7 The Ticket on Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone.
We do morning show, guys. We're always on low sleep. It's the way it is.
All right, and we're joined now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline by our dear friend Jake Sorensen from 93.7 The Ticket in Lincoln. Good morning, Jake.
Hey, guys. Sorry if I cut out. I'm in the glorious Black Hills of South Dakota right now. So, out here.
Hey, how often do you go to the Black Hills? Like 3 times a year?
No, once a year. I see family out here. It's a great place to go. We're going to Spearfish today, which is, of course, where we got married 6 years ago.
Right.
So we're going to enjoy the outdoors, do some hiking, enjoy the scenery, and all the stuff out here in the glorious Black Hills.
He loves the Black Hills.
I was going to say, once a year seems...
I get paid for this.
You might be the number one lover of the Black Hills that I've actually
And a
ever
lot
met.
of people love the Black Hills.
Yeah, I'd like to be paid for their, to be their tourism director.
I think you do a nice job at it.
You really would.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's how are you just getting there? Is this like, did you take a pit stop overnight?
No, I did not do the show yesterday or today.
Who is doing the show? Isn't everybody gone? Like Sipple's gone, you're gone. Is Bill just doing it by himself?
We had Bill today and yesterday with young Harrison with the station. He's filled in now for me after Nick has departed. But yeah, that's it's summer.
So we're
in the summer sometime.
So how far have you driven just today? Uh-oh.
We might have lost him.
Uh-oh.
I'm not surprised by that. Jake?
I got here at 2:00 yesterday. I did not drive anything today.
Oh.
2 p.m.
Okay. You're hanging out up there. I got you.
What's on the agenda for the weekend then?
Today, going to Spearfish, going to do some golf, do a quick little hike, eat some good food, have a beer or two. Tomorrow, maybe head down to Custer or the Keystone area and then depart Sunday. Short, quick trip.
I say you are one of the people, maybe one of the only people I know who is not at all afraid to do like a 18-hour round trip just for a weekend. You do this with pretty, with pretty general regularity.
I would say stunning regularity.
Well, it's hard to take a week off. There's just so much you miss in a week. So I try to take long weekends to try to pack it all in. So done this for a long time before I was married, when I was married and with the kids. So we just keep it going. That's the strategy.
So you're going to spend Father's Day driving your family back from the Black Hills, basically?
Yes, 8.5 hours in the car. On Sunday will be a glorious Father's Day, but the family will all be together for that for sure.
That's true.
And it's supposed to rain most of the day too, where we're driving.
Sounds wonderful.
That'd be wonderful.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Yeah. Let's make today Father's Day, I suppose. Let's enjoy this nice weather today and move up a couple of days.
Jake, I think we've talked about this before a little bit. I know you were spending a little bit of time at the College World Series this week. What is your relationship with the College World Series as a Lincolnite?
Well, for years I was very against it. I thought it was just an Omaha thing, and I think Omaha always, it just liked Nebraska. Or it thought that
what is there to be against?
This is amazing.
I'm getting there. But I realized after spending some time in Omaha with our friends at Blur parties the last couple of years that it's just a fun place to hang out. It's middle of June, nothing's going on otherwise sports. So I said, why have I been so against this forever? I'm going to embrace it. And so I'm proud to say that as a stubborn person, I have an opinion that's been changed, and it's a fun time. So that's the long story short. I didn't like it. Now I support it.
All right. Well, next year I'm going to shoot you the invite to join the crew that I regularly go out with on Tuesdays at the College World Series. You'll enjoy that aspect of it quite a lot. I suspect.
Okay.
Joey,
I'd like that.
Our producer Joey has been wondering now. Did you get access to the special screening of the Nebraska ball movie? If so, what did you think?
I did not. I did not go to that. I heard it was great from friends who went, some colleagues that did go. I was not able to attend. I had some stuff going on that night, but I look forward to watching that. I heard that from many people that Fred Hoiberg stole the show, as you might expect, as the head coach, I guess. But it was apparently a very fun night, fun show. I'm not sure when I'll see it, but I have nothing else
on that in terms of insight on that. I did not see it, but I look forward to it.
Are you excited about the Nebraska ball reseat of Pinnacle Bank Arena next year?
No, I don't have season tickets, so it doesn't really bother me. But I can't imagine for those who've had them, like Schaefer has for a couple of years, that's got to be just annoying as hell. I mean, this is a lucky season. I think people should stay the exact same spots they were in right now. Why would we want to change what was so good about this season and make people potentially change their spots for next year? I understand revenue is always a part of this. I get that, but this is a magical year. Everything should stay the same for next year. Come on, PBA.
Will you, in those same vein, will you stop everything you're doing on Saturday night to check out Red Sea Rising and what comes out of this in Memorial Stadium on Saturday night?
I cannot say I will. I will be somewhere probably in the wonderful land of Custer, South Dakota, or Keystone. So I will have to check into all that stuff on Monday when I am back from this beautiful part of the country. So I probably won't even know what's going on until Monday on that day, to be very honest.
So there's another issue with this, you being in an area that is low cell service, because you, as a huge golf fan, love the U.S. Open because it is a complete disaster every year. And the conditions are a little bit disastrous up in the Hamptons this weekend. How will you check in with the U.S. Open?
I will check in as much as I can. You are right. The cell service is horrible up here. There's not much I get to in terms of getting into my apps to see what's going on. But the good part about the way home is I do have Sirius XM in the car. We are, of course, AM, FM. We're supporting those very, very much so. But the chance you get to hear the golf on Sirius, I will take those opportunities. So I'll listen to golf on the way home for sure on Sunday. I probably won't be able to get to watch much of it though this weekend. But I will. I'll try to check some stuff out during lunchtime, see what I can watch. But it's not going to be the most viewing of my lifetime for this U.S. Open.
I think the one and done pool that we used to participate in is done. Who would you have taken this week going into it? Obviously, it's Friday. You can cheat and say Wyndham Clark, but nobody will believe you.
Well, I think you'd have to take Schaefer. I know he's gonna have a great first day, but it'd be crazy not to take him. That's obviously easy. I did like the fact is Dustin Johnson still towards the top?
I think he's tied for second at 3 under.
He's hanging in there.
See, I would not take him. I know he's on live and people hate him, but I like seeing the past champs, the guys who have been number one in the world before, play well again. I hope he sticks around and has a good showing. But you'd be a fool not to take Schaefer and McElroy, of course, who won the Masters and always is good. You take him as well, and he's up there doing pretty well. So I think those are the obvious ones. I would not say Wyndham Clark was obvious. I know he's won the U.S. Open a couple years ago, but he's not he is such an erratic golfer. He will shoot well, one tournament and then be like +8 the next one. So I could never ever trust that guy.
Jake, did you or will you stop at Wall Drug on your way there or back?
Look at you.
Did not, will not. We have stopped at Wall Drug before. It's the ultimate tourist trap of the Black Hills. Like, you want to get to the Rapid City, I'm not stopping an hour short Wall, and us on the way out, I'm not stopping that soon unless we have to go to the bathroom or something. But no, we'll not be making a trip to Wall Drug this trip, even though I know many people, yourself and Jackie, she's
you could take your kid and put your child on the jackalope, and then you have that picture forever.
Well, I took her to Storybook Island yesterday in Rapid City. She had a great time doing that, riding Yogi Bear's picnic basket, and going down Snow White to slide with her. So I mean, she had enough pictures for that kind of stuff.
All right. Well,
is Flintstone Village still a thing out there in the Black Hills area? Bedrock City or whatever it was? No, it closed. It's done. It's gone.
It's closed. It's gone. Yeah. There was something like a Camp Jellystone for a while out by the western part of the town. I'm not even sure if that exists anymore, if that's what you're talking about.
All right. Well, Jake, we'll let you get back to your family vacation. We appreciate you joining us as always.
Because Happer's here.
And by the way, on a serious note, Happer, great work with your coverage from Omaha. I listened to a lot of stuff. You did a great job with CWS so far.
Thanks, Jake. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Jake Sorensen from the Ticket in Lincoln, also on a family vacation in the Black Hills.
Absolutely did not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he could have just said no. He could have just said, I'm not coming on the show today because I'm on a family vacation in the Black Hills.
We would have understood. I feel bad. I feel like we intruded.
He probably felt bad for ditching you, Schaefer, last
He
week.
did not feel bad.
No,
Ditching
I
you,
think he
ditching
has.
you and Michael Severe.
He's kind of like I missed him last week, and so I need to get him, from now.
That's
until
how I
eternity.
always was. I always felt bad about like missing out on it and then wanting to accommodate when I could. But so it goes.
J-Man writes in, wall drug equals overrated.
I've never stopped at a Wall drug. I've only seen
There's
the
only one
sign.
Wall drug.
Well, it's in Wall, South Dakota.
It's in
right?
Wall. Yeah.
So I've never stopped there. But what's the other one? There's like another sign you always see.
The Corn Palace.
Well, there's the Corn Palace is definitely a thing up there, but Mitchell's more what, central South Dakota?
Yeah, it's more central.
Yeah, it's on
east of the
90,
Missouri.
As you go across the state, where you're going 90 miles an hour.
Because the speed limit is just a mere suggestion.
You gotta stop at Wall Drug. You gotta hop on the Jackalope. Speaking of pork tenderloins, I mean, you could get yourself a pork tenderloin there. You can get yourself a cowboy hat. You can play mini golf. You can do whatever you want.
Be through that area here in a few weeks when I head up to Minneapolis by way of I-29 first.
Pedro writes in, hi guys, is Jake and the family going to Sturgis? They're going near Sturgis. I don't think they're going up to Sturgis.
You didn't mention Deadwood either, which is an area I've never been that I always want to go to, but will probably not make an emphasis.
He is going up to Spearfish.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's
right near there.
Relatively close. There's only so many things you could do.
Spearfish would make the long trek to Columbus, Nebraska to play in a wood bat tournament, lose 29-2 in back-to-back games, and then drive back. It never made any sense to me.
No, they were always showed up in the Battle for Omaha tournament.
Yeah, but they would get demolished.
I don't get it.
Look,
they have a Legion baseball team though, apparently, and
I think I recorded a save once for pitching 3 innings in a game that was a 27-run differential against Spearfish. It was great.
That's a tough look for Spearfish.
Yeah,
Spearfish Athletics.
They weren't scoring off of me. That's not particularly good.
Let's see. John said Jake should check out in School of Mines football stadium. The whole south side is tiered parking where you can watch from your car.
Oh yeah.
South Dakota School of Mines.
Yeah. That's over in Rapid City. You could pretty much watch the game in your car at the football stadium.
Yeah, there's a college up there near where he got at the town where he got met, because I went to his wedding and it was in Spearfish. So is there a college there? There was a small.
There's a Black Hills State.
Black Hills State
in Spearfish.
Black Hills State. That was definitely the college.
I was going to say I know that exists.
His
I
wedding
didn't know
was
where.
so his wedding was in October.
Yeah,
and it was. I remember leaving here, and it was nice here, and we go up there, and it snows. And it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I couldn't go because my roommate got married the same weekend.
Oh yeah,
and I yelled at him for it was like, hey, you could have gotten married at any time. Like, you're ruining this opportunity for me to go here. And instead, I got to go to this Omaha wedding on Creighton's campus. So I was mad about that.
Oh man, that would have been a great time. I wish I would have gone to that wedding.
The year didn't allow for it to be a great time, and then it turned into one of those super.
It was 2020
that followed immediately after.
Yes, that's right.
You know how like you can do a line of succession? Like we tried to map out how many people we think were affected from my buddy's wedding, which was impossible to
limitless.
Tell, you would just get text after the fact about so and so.
Yeah, I think I got it.
We put it together.
Person,
yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
fun time.
That was like the 2020 Creighton Seton Hall game, which was the first time that anyone in Nebraska like publicly was confirmed to have the COVID. And it was the Big East championship game, or whatever it ended up being. It was Creighton split the Big East championship that day.
Right.
And then like 2 days later, a story came out in the World Herald. It was like, yeah, somebody at that game had COVID. We're like, dear God,
everyone is in trouble.
This is a big problem.
Cover yourself in ivermectin.
Weird times, man. By the way, I just saw a tweet from our friends at Liquid Trucking. #Friday shout out. Congratulations to last week's training graduates. We'll see you on the roads. Vernon, Casimir, and Cameron. Nice job. Friday shout outs to those guys. All right, back after this to round things out on a Friday on 1620 The Zone.
Good luck with that, Dan. You know, a game that we should do just sort of popped in my head. So Friday, last segment of the show, here we are on Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. By the way, the Zone Road Trip contest still going on right now. Enter 1620thezone.com. Tickets to a Royals Tigers game, 4 passes to Adventureland, $150 to Early Bird, $10 for a year, and a $100 Hy-Vee gift card. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Loaded.
That is a bunch of stuff. So get in at 1620thezone.com. New Friday, last segment of the show idea. Now it could be tough, and you'll have to go deep into the catalog here, maybe a little bit. I still like the box score segment. I think we'll see. We could still do a version of the box score segment. Predictions of Friday news dumps.
Oh, okay.
Because I was thinking, we hear on the morning show, we don't get to react to a lot of the news.
We gotta wait till Monday
because
it's already turned over for
it kind of happens at like 11 or 12 or 2 or 3, and then it invariably there's always like a Friday 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, something kind of drops, whether it's big or not big, purposefully.
Sure.
The Friday news dump is classic. So I wonder what the Friday news dump will be today.
And what will it involve? Brennan sorbet? Will it involve courts? Will it involve
gambling?
Will it involve baseball? Will it involve some sort of free agency somewhere? Like, I don't know. I just an idea that I came up with like 10 seconds ago.
No particular player going to the Celtics in replace for a
Oh,
different
that'd
one.
be a good Friday.
That would be
news,
awesome.
Giannis for Jaylen Brown plus.
But it has to fit a category because like that would be viewed as a positive move, except for Joey, obviously.
Well, Jaylen Brown would.
So they would not
He
do
would
that.
not even play for the Bucks anyway. They would just send him off in a 3-way trade. That would be that's what.
Why
it's
would
trying
they
to-
do that?
Wouldn't they want Jaylen Brown back?
No, Jaylen Brown wouldn't want to go to the Bucks.
Why not?
Why does he get to choose that?
I don't know. I honestly.
Why are you speaking on behalf of
Why would
Jaylen Brown's
Jaylen Brown
camp?
not want to play for the
Well,
Bucks?
I'm seeing stuff from Celtics beat writers that's saying he would not play for the Bucks. He would rather play elsewhere. So there might be a 3-team trade involved if there's a potential for
Okay.
Giannis going to the Celtics.
I love the idea. Is like Joey's like, no, Jaylen Brown would never do that. He would never play for the Bucks. I'm like, what?
Well, he would want to play for a contender. He showed last year that he could.
Couldn't he
lead a
help
team.
make the Bucks a contender? Isn't I mean you're
Yeah, I
claiming
thought
he's
he
as
was
good
awesome.
as Giannis.
I don't think he's going to be able to help Kyle Kuzma on the team, or I don't know if Pat Connaughton's still there, but whoever the hell the head coach is for the Milwaukee Bucks, because they
Pat-
got rid of Doc Rivers.
Pat Connaughton, thrower of baseballs.
How many coaches have the Milwaukee Bucks had lately?
Well, yeah, they got rid of Budenholzer. and then
Budenholzer,
they-
Doc.
I feel like they've ran through a few here.
No, they had Adrian Griffin for his first season. They started like I think 40-12, and they fired him for some reason. And then Doc shows up, and then they're all of a sudden bad.
And then who's their guy right now?
That is a good question.
Shafe?
Their guy right now is Taylor Jenkins.
Oh, former Grizzlies coach. He.
Are you sure?
Am I sure that it's Taylor Jenkins?
Are you sure that Taylor Jenkins is a real person and he's not Al?
It sounds like a name
Yeah,
that could be a coach.
he coached for he had to deal with John Morant shenanigans.
This is what's sad. I was like, they've probably only been a few coaches since Scott Skiles. It's actually been like
Scott
11.
Skiles.
Wow. 1, 2,
Yeah, that was like
3,
since
4,
Michael Redd.
5, 6, 7, 8 coaches. Now Taylor Jenkins is coach number 9.
When was Scott Skiles last
he
the
was
Bucks
there
coach?
from 2006 to 2013. He's the longest tenured Bucks coach in the last, I don't know, quarter century.
It's been almost 15 years.
Wow.
He was good there.
He was good there.
But it does tell you the frame of reference I have for the NBA where it's like,
That's
well,
it.
Scott Skiles had to be there recently.
It's like, yeah, I remember Tom Thibodeau when he was with the Bulls coach. That was
Scott
good.
Skiles doing? Nothing.
Great. I have no idea.
Scott Skiles is doing nothing.
Have you seen Brennan Sorsby's agent's comments? On
No, I haven't seen that.
Nah, it's probably
Sorry, Dana.
best. Quote, unless you're Brennan or Brennan's family or myself and my team, nobody really knows what happened. The opinions out there were you would have thought this kid committed major crimes and did horrible things. The reality
This is so
is,
stupid.
why do
I
people
hate
keep
that
saying
false
this?
equivalence.
The reality is, as an 18-year-old, he made some bad decisions from his dorm room when he wasn't traveling with the team in Indiana.
Okay. He continued to make bad decisions for years.
Yes.
Like, we don't have to pretend like this only happened when he was 18.
But he didn't murder
Maybe
anybody.
the gambling on Indiana
Don't
was only
forget.
when he was 18, but he still proceeded to bet on anything and everything and other events and athletics within the university. Like, it didn't just end when he was
I don't
18.
understand this
Also,
like counter
We're
thing.
just like totally pretending like it's not a big deal that he's betting on a sport of which he plays in, which is the whole conversation.
Did
he murder someone? No.
It feels like
I'm not
contrarianism.
asking that he goes to penitentiary and he's thrown away and locked away forever. Like, that's not what anyone's asking for
No.
here. He's not going to jail. He's not allowed to play football, which in itself is an apt punishment for when you continually ignore the rules. There's consequences in society.
I think people have been suckers to the defense of this. And that's what I was concerned about, whether it's from Texas Tech side or his agent now. So listen to this. This is another thing where they've got people, and I've heard this criticism of media and whatever, people who do sports gambling ads and stuff like that. I'm like, you guys are missing the point. So here's what the agent said. The predatory world of gambling where when you turn 18 and deposit $5, you get a free $100. Every single show on TV, every single radio show, everything is sponsored by a gambling site. So it's a scary world we're living in. These kids have all been raised now with phones in their hands. So it's real easy to get on an app and place a bet. Yes, sure, great.
Yeah,
thanks.
They're raised in a world where there's beer
also
advertising everywhere, and
there's also millions of athletes who haven't done it.
Yeah, it's so dumb. The false equivalency, the whataboutism, all of it is just to distract from the fact that he chose poorly, made bad decisions, despite continued education that you aren't supposed to do this. Like, we're not. Again, it's like there should never be a punishment for anything that anyone does wrong anymore.
I know.
You should always get first, second, third, fourth, 75th chances to just continually screw up and do things wrong. Go against the rules, knowingly do it. Continue to bet when you transfer to Texas Tech. Oh, it was only when he was 18. It's just a joke. Nobody needs to give these idiots platforms. Stop talking. All of you. I don't need to hear from Texas Tech. I don't need to hear from Brendan Swordsby's agent. I don't need to hear even NFL teams talk about it. Just let it go. If he gets drafted in the supplemental draft, we can talk about it then. If he ever plays in the NFL, we can talk about it then. Otherwise, it's a non-issue. Your career is over. It doesn't matter. We don't have to care.
He went on the Sean and RJ podcast.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, RJ.
If you're interested in finding that. So there you go. That's the story. By the way, one more text before we get out of here. Cody writes in, is Phil Jackson still with the Lakers? I believe that's correct. I believe that is.
As far as I know.
He used to be the president of the New York Knicks.
That is true. That didn't last very long.
No,
he did not win a ring there.
All right. That'll do it for us today. If you miss anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Friday shout out to you all. Time for the crossover with Matt coming up next.